ever seen. I saw that one day when he was walking right past. I'm like, fuck, man, that's awesome.
Then that's like it was beautiful. Like we'd be sitting on the side of mountains eating our lunches and stuff, just because it's down in Arkansas, and you just look down the side of the mountain eating and stuff. I became immune to thorns during that job because there's just so many thorns. Like you just walk through them enough that you just don't even face you anymore. I'd be biting vines in half of my mouth because I get caught because my hands were full of it. Almost got killed by a cougar.
Like a really hot mom?
The animal kind.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was really
I was
hot
like, you
mom.
should have gone with like that hot mom guy.
Yeah, it seems funnier, but I think that might be a worse way to go because it doesn't
Oh,
feed
no.
That's how
anything.
I want to
It's
go.
definitely not
I'm
a bad
dying
way
by
to
a
go.
crushed pelvis. That's how I'm going.
Okay, I'm cutting it off there. Okay. So hello and welcome to the...
He didn't even,
Damn it!
he didn't even do like mic test 1, 2.
Oh yeah, we usually do a mic check. Jeez.
Oh,
you
dang, you're
serious?
coming in good. Yeah, yeah.
Am I?
How long did we get this time?
Star Wars lunchbox. I heard that and I'm like, oh, the click.
The crushed pelvis. This was all planned, honey.
Okay, here we go. I didn't want names to start flying. That's why I was like, cutting this off.
You say I want to know how Mrs. Tipton feels about having to kill you by pelvis crushing.
I just like how Adam's first words to Daniel are coming in nicely there, Daniel.
He was. Okay. All right, so hello and welcome to the 29th episode of Damage Control Podcasting, a professionally unprofessional look at the conventions, ideas, and genres of filmmaking. I am here with...
Daniel Newkirk.
Cody Dietrich.
Tyler Tipton.
Okay, before we start tonight, I want to thank Alley Cat Yo for following us on SoundCloud, so thank you.
Is that a real person?
I don't think that's her real name, but
That's kind of cool.
Thank you, Alley Cat.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Tyler, give her 3 tally hoes.
Well, I will sporadically through the episode.
All right.
You don't want to get tally hoed or
All
that
right.
counts as one.
All right, moving on quick. Okay, tonight's pre-pod trivia.
Uh-oh.
Your favorite in audio trivia. You guys
30.
ready?
No.
Name. These are all droids, robots, or machines. Well, there are no robots, only droids, right?
In Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Yeah, they're all androids.
Okay. All right.
I
here
think you
we-
get cyborgs too, but
There's a cyborg?
yeah, Grievous probably technically a cyborg.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Really bad call.
Yeah.
Thinking of Galaxy. I guess it was a long time ago.
And here we go. Joker style.
R2D2.
Okay.
You want to turn your computer? I can see the.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
That's why I didn't say anything.
Okay. All right. I'm starting off easy. Here we
Okay.
go.
Did you hear that?
3CO.
CP3O.
See? All right. I said I was starting off easy. Here we go. A little bit tougher, but still easy.
BB-8.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Battle droids.
Grievous.
Sorry, I couldn't find one without the sound or without the music. I apologize. All right.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
Aggressive.
Uh-oh. Roger, roger.
That's a battle droid.
Okay. All right. Haven't stumped you guys yet. Hang on. A little bit tougher. Now, the last two are kind of tough. Or at least I think. Maybe not. Here we go.
That's the thing from Hoth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's either an Imperial astromech or a Mouser, I think.
I'll give it to you because it's the Imperial probe droid from
Imperial.
Hoth.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now.
Oh, I didn't know I guess, yeah, Pro Droid.
Okay, this one is going to be the toughest. Okay? All right, this one's going to be tough. I'm going to be shocked. Shocked, I say, if you guys get this. Hang on, I gotta scrub over.
Oh, she'll be K2SO.
Here we go.
That should teach them a lesson. Junpa is mine to capture, not yours to destroy.
Oh, that's IP88.
Fuck, I'll give it to you.
Or IG88.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, how'd you know that?
Because he's one of the bounty hunter droids.
Son of... God, okay.
That
All
from the
right.
video game?
No, he's
cartoon.
in the
He's in the video game,
Well, yeah, he's.
Well,
but that's not where that sound clip.
Oh, wait, that's why I didn't. I knew IG88, but I didn't know he talked.
Yeah, you can see him. If I remember right, in
Empire
Strikes Back, when Boba Fett's talking to him, he's
Yeah.
the droid with the really skinny, tall head.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
remember seeing him in that.
Because Vader. Tonight's topic Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
might
You don't
be
say.
helpful.
Yeah.
So, because Vader leans over to Boba Fett and says, "No
Disintegration.
disintegration," which leads to the theory that he destroys Lars and what's her Luke's. Yeah. All right.
Fun fact: the other bounty hunter in the yellow astronaut costume.
The Lizard Man.
Yeah, that is the costume is from recycled Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Sleeth stack.
Huh. No, not the lizard.
Oh,
the astronaut suit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Huh.
So moving on to
Tally ho!
that's one.
No,
that's
it's two.
that. No,
That's two.
the tally hoed does not count.
Sometimes
That's
you
not
gotta-
pure.
Sometimes you just gotta tally.
We
ho.
only do pure on
That's
this
two.
show.
Wash your hands.
You son of a bitch! Don't overrule me in front of my brother. Okay, so two. That's
Say that
fine.
again.
That's fine too. Okay, here we go. There are currently 9 live-action Star Wars films, and the 10th will be released on the 25th of May in the year 2018.
You don't count the Christmas special?
That was on TV.
It was a made-for-TV special.
Yeah.
Not technically a movie.
He said live action. You didn't say movies. You didn't say.
So anyway, the 25th of May in the year 2008, Solo, the solo flick. Are we excited?
I
Depends
am.
if they
I
do it
sort of
right.
am. Like Solo was one of my favorite characters from the original trilogy, so I'm pretty excited for it. I want to see how he got his start and all that.
From the Ridge Tridge.
How Chewie
I
met
do that too.
met Solo. I would have been happy if it was just when Chewie met Solo. That would have just made
A buddy cop movie.
yeah.
Well,
no,
I mean,
no,
not a
a
buddy
romantic
cop
movie. A romantic
A
movie. I don't care.
rom-com with you.
I know Daniel.
Be into that.
I know Daniel's like Daniel doesn't hate. I know I shouldn't speak for you, but I don't think you hate it. You're just like whatever.
Yeah.
I'll Netflix it.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about Solo. If I get to the point where I'm probably going to see it in theaters. I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to see it in theaters. But it just doesn't super excite me. Like, Rogue One, I was super excited for.
Got like a halfie.
Yeah, about a halfie.
Not a rager.
Yeah, I'm like just kind of interested in seeing what happens, but I think they went in a direction that doesn't appeal to me personally. Like, we've got Lando, we've got Chewie, we got Solo, all in the original, like in the trailers. We know they're gonna make it out okay.
Yeah,
Like,
fair
there's
enough.
no interest in that
But-
to me.
But to use your own words against you, you liked Rogue One, and you knew all of the guys from Rogue One were going to die.
I did not know all the guys from Rogue One were gonna die.
But
They could have had a lot of different paths, and one of them could have been like escaping and just leaving the rebellion after that.
they
So-
say K2SO could have survived.
Possibly. I mean, you could probably get like a memory chip or something out of them, and
Get a take
Well,
K2SO movie.
when he took that brain spike in the other one, they say that he was actually downloading his intelligence into that. So while he was doing the suicide mission, the other K2SO was fleeing. Which the theory sounds cool, but it also makes K2SO a dick. So why wasn't he saving his buddies? So okay.
K2SO downloaded himself into the Death Star, and then he became the Death Star.
Oh.
oh, that'd be interesting.
Oh, supposedly IG-88 was on the second Death Star shooting down the Rebel Alliance.
I get behind that.
One of the clones, anyway.
All right, here's a question before we get into it. We were talking about this like when we were talking about the board games. Like, we live in like a nerd culture world. Is everyone excited that basically from now, since Disney owns it, you're going to get a numbered Star Wars and then an anthology movie like every other year?
It depends, because it's part of tonight's topic. It depends on what the subject of the film is.
Yeah.
I could honestly care less about the numbered. I do not care less about that storyline at all.
It's so weird.
That
right now.
storyline's really caught me. Like, Force Awakens I thought was okay. It wasn't fantastic. I enjoyed it. I put it up there. I liked it better than a lot of other movies. But Last Jedi, I really, really liked Last Jedi. I think they did a lot of really, really smart things with that.
Remind me later. I got a question I want to ask you about that.
Sure.
So if I start going into the main part of the podcast, hit me and remind me, because I got a question for
Done.
you
Can
about
I do
that.
it?
No. Okay.
I want to do it for years.
So, do we like Star Wars, the movies, the games, the comics, the action figures, the lore, the golden bikini?
Yes.
Yeah,
The
pretty
last
much
one.
all of it, yes.
Golden Bikini.
She had no underwear on.
There's no
Yeah.
underwear in space.
You could definitely tell that in No Hope.
What's
Yes.
your So we all like all of us here like some aspects of Star Wars.
Yes.
Favorite film?
Uh,
New Hope.
New Hope.
Mine is actually Phantom Menace. Really, one of.
Ballsy statement. Mine bounces between Rogue One and The Last Jedi.
Tyler, go along with me. After I say mine, say which one is that. Okay. My favorite
Which
one.
one? Oh, sorry.
My favorite one is Star Wars Rogue One.
Which one is that?
The Rogue One. Nothing.
Put on.
Damn, I thought that was funny. Okay.
Definitely was not as good as my cast you out joke last week.
No, the Cast You Out was fantastic. I'm still giggling about that.
So-
I'm hoping other people will enjoy it just as much.
So, what about
How long have you been thinking about that one?
Tuesday?
Since last week when we decided we're going to
Tuesday.
talk about Star Wars?
Tuesday. I was like, should I say it the Rogiest? Like say it like Rogue, like makeup rouge?
That's Rouge.
Then I was like, nah.
Good lord, why do you butcher the French language?
Then I was like,
Thank God we're English and German. Like,
well,
we're nothing to do with
I hate
France.
Asians and I want to be French. So, where was I going with it?
He said it here, ladies and gentlemen.
Where was I going with it? What
No
is it
prompting.
about? What is it about the Star Wars in all of its incarnations that we like? I don't typically like the stories as much. I'm not really a fan of the movies. I kind of like the lore. I watch a lot of YouTube Star Wars Explained, Stupendous Wave, because I kind of like the mythologies. I really could care less about the Skywalkers.
Do you like the whole, like, different colored lightsabers mean different things?
I do until I found out Mace Windu's purple because of Samuel L. Jackson and he can't just do anything.
Well-
There's no reason behind it. It's just
Well, I mean, they made up a reason later. I'm saying...
oh, okay.
What was the reason for the purple lightsaber? I didn't hear about that one.
I don't remember. I watched a YouTube on
Okay. 'Cause
it forever ago.
I thought the only three colors that had purpose were the blue, yellow, and greens, because that's Counselor, Guardian, Sentinel.
And
I
red
think-
is because the Kyber crystal is corrupted by the Sith, right?
That would make sense.
Because I don't think there is a naturally red lightsaber. Like they corrupt the crystal, right?
I think the purple one, if I'm remembering correctly, yes, it was because Samuel L. Jackson wanted purple because it's his favorite color. So I think, like, when they did, like, a comic tie-in, Mace Windu was supposed to find, like, this ultra rare Kyber crystal, and that's why he's got purple. But I don't think they gave it, like, a seriously amazing, because I know there's supposed to be, like, a gold
this is
lightsaber
amazing.
and, like, a black lightsaber. You're looking up porn
Well,
again.
Cody had to Google. What's Google got for us?
Are you on Wikipedia?
Yes, I saw that name, and that's the reason why this is amazing.
I looked up Wikipedia and I was like, no, wait a minute, this cannot be another supernatural thing. So I made sure that that's where I had to be.
There was no
We're going
Sam
to
and
the
Dean.
Supernatural Wikipedia.
No, I made sure that the Wikipedia was the official thing I needed to be on, not some Wookiee. Anyway,
Wookiee /
did you have something, or was it just the Wookiee?
It's not saying the origin from it. All this is saying is unique.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that they've kind of gotten away from the colors meaning something anymore. Like, that was a thing from the Old Republic era.
Mhm.
But with the New Jedi Order, I think it's just you find a crystal that resonates with you as a person.
Yeah.
Because if I remember right, like in the Exile in Knights of the Old Republic 2 had a lot more choices of colors of sabers to pick from than Revan did.
Because the Mandalorians have a black saber, right? Isn't there a black lightsaber?
There is, but I think it's like...
Where they all winging about and they rave and they're on ecstasy?
Literally, the YouTube video was just like, red. Red means blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Can
I
a
know,
Jedi have a red lightsaber?
No, you just said he's corrupted by the Sith.
So a gray Jedi couldn't have.
a gray might. A full Jedi, I don't think would have a red lightsaber traditionally.
Okay.
I know Lobaka, Chewbacca's nephew, maybe it's son. I think it's nephew has an orange lightsaber.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the classic red and blue.
Oh shit!
Oh, thank God.
Snyder's here.
What's going on?
Hey,
Who is this man?
we just started. Pull up a chair.
I'm coming.
Dude, what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Put your pants on.
Never. And what's what?
What's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Favorite Star Wars movie would be the stereotypical human being and call out Empire.
Uh,
Empire ends on such a
Look,
down
hey,
note.
look who he
Right.
look who he sits next to.
Yeah.
Hey.
so they can cuddle.
Hey,
Right.
play along.
You
Say-
heard the buttered corn story.
After I say my favorite
Oh,
one, say
Jesus.
which one is that. My favorite one is Star Wars Rogue One.
Which one is that?
The Rogue One.
Wah, wah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't funny the first time.
I will never give up till someone laughs.
Okay, so on the hidden ball trick, Tyler told us to ask you about a story, and we want to know about the buttered corn story.
Oh Jesus. Oh no.
Well, save that to the end. Save that to the end.
Tally ho!
Okay, that's 3. Okay, you got
That
it.
is not.
Good job.
You
Alright,
just
that's
said
2.
that the first
Okay.
one didn't count.
Oh, okay.
All right, that's 2. That's fine.
All right.
Alley
So,
Cat, you get extra tally hos.
so what? Besides the movies, are you into any of the extended lore, the collecting of the toys, comic books, the
Golden
video
Bikini
games?
is one of my favorite things that I own.
Huh?
You wear that a lot?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So besides the movies, are you guys into anything else?
I like some of the video games. KOTOR 1 and 2, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Okay.
Enjoyed both of those a lot. They had a real-time strategy one, Shadows of the Empire. That was really, really fun.
Knights of the Old Republic. You may have said it. Did you say that was an RPG? Is that like?
Yeah, it used basically D&D 3
Okay.
rules and created by BioWare. It still is one of the best Star Wars games ever you could buy.
It's
Okay.
made by the same company that made like all the Mass Effect games and
Yeah.
all
Okay.
that kind of stuff too.
Anyone ever played Battlefront? Didn't that?
It was okay.
Yeah.
It came with our PlayStation 4. I never really played it. I was never really into those.
A whole lot
Games.
of running around and shooting, not really my kind of thing.
I sort of like the lore behind that the Star Wars Force Unleashed series.
Oh, where it's the other Star Killer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which was Luke Skywalker's original last name.
Yeah, we're getting to that.
The new Marvel comic books are really good. I've been reading the Darth Vader ones, and if you've ever wanted to know how badass Darth Vader is, you read those.
So is it like where does it fall between like in the timeline? Is it like before New Hope? Well, I guess like where it falls in like Rogue One territory.
No. The Star Wars ones take place after 4, but before 5. So Death Star's been destroyed, Battle of Yavin happened, and then it's Darth Vader. He's dealing with a lot of other things, and like the Emperor thinks about replacing him as an apprentice. So Vader has to prove himself that he's worthy to be the Emperor's apprentice still. And a lot of other cool stuff happens.
Stay in that position because I had to bump up your game.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick question. I this just hit me. What the hell's a Boffins? Boffin. Many
Bothan-
Boffins had to die to get us this information.
I thought those were banthas. Many banthas.
Boffins.
No,
Oh.
Bothans are like cat-like people.
Oh.
They're a cat race.
Okay.
Did they answer that in Rogue One? The one that I like? Which one's that?
No,
the Rogue
that's
one?
completely different.
Yeah, that's so.
It doesn't make it more funny if you keep doing it.
Snyder, I did not miss you last week.
I did.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
thanks.
they didn't answer that in Rogue One, but it's been answered in like the rest of the EU.
Okay.
But the running idea right now is that the Bothans were a like a cover story for the Rogue One team that actually got
Oh,
the
right
plan.
on. Okay.
Because when that wasn't like the mission wasn't sanctioned. I haven't seen it in a long time. Didn't they steal? Well, it's your favorite one, the Rogue
Which one? Yeah.
That was good. We should
I-
come up with more jokes.
I
man.
hate you guys so much.
God.
Missed you.
Is it the hip thing to hate them right now? Is that what's happening
Oh,
here?
you son of a...
Mr. Two Shirts. Oh, it's like no one makes fun of him the whole
Are you wearing
time.
two?
No,
Yeah, all right.
just one.
I
No one,
was
no
like,
one makes fun of him the whole time, and then Snyder walks in, and we're like, "Fuck Adam."
No, yeah, it wasn't sanctioned. They just because they were just going to give up. They were going to leave. They were fleeing Yavin, and the Hannibal's daughter and the dude in K2SO and a bunch of guys are like, look, are we going to do this? We're not coming back. We're going to Scarif. Let's do it. And as they're taking off, they're like, you guys are not cleared for takeoff. And like, I'm rebelling. It's what I do. And then they take. That's not where that line is.
So
and they take
edgy.
off. Yeah, thank you.
Very hip.
So yes, it wasn't sanctioned. But once they found out that that's what was going to happen, they kind of backed them up because they knew that was their only power play.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So on to the Knights. Did you do homework, Snyder?
No, because I didn't think I was going to be here. I got lucky.
Can you
and got
BS
off
your
work
way through it?
early. I usually do.
All right. So
Does he do anything and it's not BS?
okay. So
I breathe. No, I.
Yeah.
Okay.
so
He
before
doesn't breathe. He just mimics it.
Right.
so
I'm
we-
actually a vampire.
So-
I was wondering why I was so attracted to you.
Well, obviously.
are there
It's the
vampires? Are
sparkles.
there
Animal
vampires
magnetism.
in Star Wars lore?
There are, but they're not like traditional like blah. I want to suck your blood vampires. They
Okay.
are
Do they
like
sparkle?
no, they're not no. There's I don't think there's any light sensitivity, and they're
Aren't
like
they more like
force
liches,
vampires.
kind
Yeah, more like liches than vampires, but
Okay. All right. So tonight's homework before we get to the main, I kind of have a surprise for you guys in the main section of our podcast. So before we get to that, tonight's homework was pick an underrated character or a character that you think's underrated. Present your case, and a character you think is overrated. Present your case. Who wants to go first?
I'll do
Definitely not me.
All right.
Okay, I'll do it.
Daniel, let's go on first.
it. Okay, so
Is he doing both of them or just one of them?
Just one of them. Do this. Whichever one you do, will follow suit. So
okay, well I'm going to do overrated first.
overrated.
Start
Let's do
start
it.
with
I already
the,
know mine for
start
this.
with the bad. We'll end on the good.
Sounds good.
So I have a really unpopular opinion. My overrated character is Boba Fett.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Well-
like Boba Fett's cool. He's got cool armor. He's a neat character when you get outside the lore, but his popularity exploded for zero reason. He,
Sorry. I'll wait until you're done.
okay, he has like 2 lines. I think the run total is like 8 minutes maybe in the first 3 movies, and like one of those lines is him screaming in pain as he gets thrown into the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
Like there's no reason for anyone to like him because he doesn't do anything interesting or cool in the 3 movies. Once you get outside the EU, maybe you got a thing, but crawling out the ass of a giant snake worm isn't cool in my book.
What,
It just makes you look
I
like
thought it spit him out because of his armor.
no, actually,
the one I read is he crawled out
Well,
the
I-
ass of it.
there's
But
a-
there's a comic where he gets out. I think it was part of the original continuity where he gets out. He ends up on a sandcrawler. The Jawas pick him up on a sandcrawler. Luke, I don't remember the events that take place, but Luke ends up. He's decked in black. So this is clearly it's Return of the Jedi because that's when he was in it. Luke ends up on the sandcrawler for some reason. I don't remember why. Or was it Solo? Shit. It was either
Wonderful story.
It was Solo. So Solo ends up on the sandcrawler. Fett has no memory at this point, and the two kind of team up, and he bangs his head naturally, regains his memory. The two fight. Boba Fett ends up driving the sandcrawler into the Sarlacc mouth and dies.
Is Fett
live through
is-
the pit, die in the pit.
Is Solo like on the sandcrawler? Like he's trying to like kamikaze his way?
He escaped. I don't remember what the reason for Solo being on the sandcrawler, but he gets on there for some reason.
The reason is because the author and the artist said like, hey, let's put it back on.
Plot contrivance,
Yeah.
yes. So is there a reason Boba Fett became so popular? Is it the outfit?
I think that's most of what it is. It's just here's this cool enigmatic guy. We don't know anything about him. He just looks badass, and he holds himself like a badass, so we'll treat him like a badass.
Well,
Okay.
another reason for that is that Boba Fett actually people saw Boba Fett before he was actually seen in the movie. Like apparently it's either one of the producers' hometown. After the first movie had been so successful, they was living in the hometown. They was having a hometown parade, and they like, hey, we'll contribute some stuff to the parade. So they had a guy in the Darth Vader costume join in the parade, like that. And they also had Boba Fett, which was supposed to appear in the second movie too, but they had no information about this dude, and he just looked super cool. And that's how part of that. Oh my God, that guy looks so cool. Well, I want to know more about him, and that's how that also spread as well.
Is there another analog to Boba Fett in any other medium? Is there another character? Like, I guess Kim Kardashian would be the real life analog to that.
No, we would know way too much about her.
Mysterious and looks cool? No?
Okay.
I don't know anything about him. That's a very hipster.
Is there another? Is there,
Bounty hunter. The word bounty hunter.
Dog?
Dog.
Is it Citizen Kane, the guy who's always screaming about his sled?
Rosebud?
Rosebud.
Yeah.
Him, kind of, because he's mysterious and...
No, I meant. Well, okay. Let me. I Adam my question. I meant.
We have a
Is
phrase
there a
for it
real
now.
life person that you
No.
can compare?
Is there another character in any medium that's popular
For no
the
reason.
same way Boba Fett's popular. Like, because if you really, just like you said, if you really look at it, Boba Fett does nothing, no time, no words, and he's an idiot. If you really look at what happens, is there another character that everyone thinks is really cool, but if you really look at him, if you really look at what he's been in, it's like this guy's just cool because he looks cool? Is there
If we're
another?
going off of you, I'm gonna say 30-30.
That
If
implies that
it's
30-30
your-
is cool.
No. If it's like in his like opinion, I'd say 30-30.
I mean, is there another analog? Another
The only thing I can think of is something from Transformers, and that's not even super close.
like Shockwave maybe?
Not Shockwave. I mean, Shockwave didn't have a whole lot, but Shockwave was badass every time he was on screen.
Okay,
It's
I don't trust
actually-
anything you say because you're biased towards Transformers.
No, there's plenty of stupid Transformers.
Oh, okay.
Like Beachcomber. Beachcomber's stupid. I hate Beachcomber. And Warpath was
There goes
annoying as
Beachcomber.
hell.
The
Listen to
name's,
our-
the name's kind of cool.
Beachcomber's
though.
not listening to our podcast.
What does he do? He's like the Zen garden guy?
He's a geologist, and he turns into like a dune buggy.
Oh.
But no, the Transformer that I think kind of is like that, his name is Armada, and it's so like Boba Fett that we can't even 100% say that it is Armada. So in the 1986 Transformers movie, there's a scene, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, Megatron dies. Megatron and a whole bunch of the guys
I'm gonna watch
flying through space, they get to Unicron, and they haggle, they
you tied
bargain.
it all together. That's Orson Welles, who was Citizen Kane.
Ah, there we go.
It's a universe.
I like it. So
Wait. the Citizen Kane Transformer
So
shared
when
universe?
Citizen
That's the
Kane
one.
dies, when he says Rosebud, his mind is uploaded.
You know, see, here's a deleted scene. What you don't see,
I like how we both just ruined Daniel's.
what you don't
good.
see is you see Unicron sucking him up into that big old like sphincter thing.
yeah,
And
here you thought it was the light of heaven. No, it's the light of
it
Unicron.
is
Just nom
Unicron.
nom.
Yes. I will
I
literally.
hope that when I die, there's a bright light, and it makes the sound effect of nom 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 nom.
Are you so bummed out you rushed down here for this? Okay. Oh, sorry.
I knew what I was signing up for.
I will shut up. Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so anyway, so they float. They meet Unicron. Unicron says, "I'll resurrect you," and Unicron, as he is transforming people, Bombshell and I think it's Skywarp. They do the rebuild, and there's two characters that look exactly like Cyclonus, and Unicron says, and this is the Cyclonus the Hunter and his armada. And you see him transform, they fly off, and then you have Sweeps the Huntsman, and he transforms, and the Sweeps become like the minions, the disposable minions from there on out. But after that scene, you never see the guy who looks like Cyclonus, and Cyclonus never owns or leads an armada ever. It's the Sweeps that's in charge of the armada.
Does Cyclonus have a fan base? So
Cyclonus has a fan base, but Armada, who is the Cyclonus-looking clone, also has a fan base.
okay.
So that's how we think he's Armada, and he just flies off and says, "Screw you! I'm not doing what the other Decepticons do," and flies off, and you never see him again in the shows. He only appears in like fan fiction from there on out.
Okay. So first overrated character, Boba Fett.
I think that's a
Cody?
everyone's-
Darth Sidious.
Ooh, Darth Sidious. Okay, go.
Just the entire
Quick,
time.
who's Darth Sidious, real quick, so everyone knows?
The Emperor.
What?
No, wait. Am I saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm
Darth Sidious.
fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay.
Darth Sidious.
Oh, are you
I was just
doing
fucking-
another? Oh, yeah,
You spoiled all the movies for me.
no, Darth Sidious in the original trilogy,
The Ridge Tridge.
the Ridge Tridge.
Why is that a thing? Oh god.
I don't know. He said it first.
It's just he's like he's almost got the same Boba Fett sort of syndrome. He's just there, like he's the what?
Hands.
Yeah, wash your hands.
It's like thunder.
Thunder. Like, that's all he does is the thunder hands,
Lightning.
lightning hand, whatever. Thunder, lightning.
Points and makes
very
really
very
loud
frightening.
noises.
So
Oh, that's kind of what it probably would look like I was doing, Cody. I'm really sorry.
Like he
Now
only
that I think about it, that's probably what it
has,
looked
he
like I
only
was
has
doing.
prominence in Return of the Jedi, and that's only for a
That's
short
not
bit.
true. The prequels
Well, he-
were basically about him.
He's talking about the
The
original.
Ridge Tridge, right,
Ridge
sorry.
Tridge.
Ridge Tridge.
And okay, let me cover.
We're trying to
Darth
save time
Sidious
by
and the
cutting off
Ridge
those two
Tridge.
syllables.
He's the shadowy figure on the monitor. You're like, oh, what's this guy? And you have to allude to that for 2 damn movies before you actually even see him in person.
That's cool. Yeah, that's.
No, like,
I agree with you, Cody. I am 100% behind this when he said that was his overrated character, because
And-
he is. He dies like a chump.
yeah, he basically does lightning. He does the lightning fingers, like, oh, I'm gonna hurt you for like 5 seconds. Oh no, my pawn betrayed me. I'm dead because I can't fly with my force.
Here's my wrestling reference. Darth Vader, gorilla slams him.
Yeah.
Good.
Gorilla Press.
Shit. So anyway, I did
Close
not
enough.
miss you.
He'll
last
never,
week.
he'll never be proud of you.
Like
No
seriously,
matter how many
they
wrestling
have
references
they have telekinesis. They can shoot lightning out of their hands, but he can't stop himself from falling with the Force.
And-
And he's supposed to be the biggest bad on the dark side.
If we apply like some sort of logic to every movie, they are all terrible.
No,
You know what I
'cause
mean? Like, you can't-
And I specifically say this because of the next 3 movies with the fight with him and Yoda. He's throwing. He's
You
throwing
can blame-
entire. It's basically a stadium at
So-
Yoda.
That's George Lucas's fault.
So the problem with that is that Darth Sidious fucked himself up because he did the lightning trick on Mace Windu, and Windu reflected the lightning back and injured him.
Yeah.
But he dies like a bitch. He's not cool. He's never interesting.
He's not the puppet
In the
master
Ridge Tridge.
pulling the strings. Isn't cool.
What strings did he pull?
Oh,
in
he's
the
setting
Ridge
everything
Tridge.
up.
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
In the Ridge
And
Tridge.
we knew that.
No,
Going into it.
all he did, like if you look at Sidious's plan through the first 6 movies, is nothing but stupid. So it's like, okay, I've got a cool apprentice, Darth Maul. Let's kill him and let him die. Okay, so now we'll get this other cool one
Was
who's
his plan to kill him?
well, it's not to kill him, but go do something.
He's not strong enough, so I'm gonna get somebody else who's stronger.
Yeah. So we'll send you out. You get killed by Qui-Gon, and the whole purpose is so because you're trying to fetch back, and to put this whole Galactic Empire thing together. And then we have Darth Sidious, not Darth Sidious, the fencer. What's his name?
Count Dooku?
Count Dooku. Thank you, Count Dooku. You have Count Dooku, who you're a cool apprentice. And then we're going to sacrifice you so we can start the corruption of Anakin. We're going to start the corruption of Anakin, and then Anakin, we're going to let you get killed by Obi-Wan, so I have a robot guy with only one arm and can't use the Force as well anymore. Like, his whole plan was garbage.
The plan was fine. The execution by his apprentices was terrible.
He didn't have the high ground.
But
No, like,
you see what I'm
so
saying?
many-
And the
so
Ridge
many
Tridge-
faults.
Like his actual
Episode
plan
1.
was great.
Yeah, but we
And,
don't
like-
find out about that plan until 20 years later with the new 3 prequels.
I'm with Daniel. I agree with you 100%. And I feel like
I'm talking from a
If
Ridge.
he is agreeing with you, you know you're probably wrong. I just want you both to know that.
Okay, you can argue, but I was told I would
Cody
get
is
this.
such a diplomat on the show. He's just
Right?
like, okay, all right, you got your opinion.
Well, it just.
Snyder's like, you are a
I
fucking
just-
moron.
I just like
I'm
giving
just saying
Cody a
this.
hard
When it
time.
comes down to the end of the day, we're arguing about
I
a
actually don't
make-believe
care about
land
the
in
end.
space. And a
Wait a
space-
minute. That didn't really happen.
No, but Snoke.
Battlestar Galactica is a documentary, sir.
And Snoke is the second coming in Sidious, in my opinion.
See,
Snoke is just.
the problem with Snoke is everyone had in the Ridge Tridge. Thank you. Everyone.
TM.
Yeah. When the Ridge Tridge came out, the Emperor wasn't really this big secret thing. No one really cared. It was just a bad guy. But because of the prequels, because of the extended lore, because of how many years had it been from the Ridge Tridge to Snoke? 20, 30?
Over.
It was 79 for New Hope. Is that right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
almost 38
something like
years.
that.
I think it was a little bit earlier than that.
Okay, so it's 30-some years. So there's 30-some years of lore and fans. So everyone's like, who's Snoke? Who's Snoke? But in the original, it was just an emperor. It was just a bad guy. No one was like, who's the emperor?
Because everybody's looking for something deeper now. Because now everyone's like, you have all that stuff, and so you're building it up. Like I said, my problem with the Emperor was that he wasn't like a huge, like there was no like awesome battle, I guess. And I understand that they're limited on where they're at technologically in the 80s, but
But it kind of was kind
They
of
brought
presented,
him to the new Death Star to get killed.
but
That was it.
It kind of presented itself that the Emperor has kind of won at this point, and there was just a few smalling fact. Like the Emperor's the kind of bad guy that doesn't need to fight. Like he's not the Joker. He's not Thanos. Like he doesn't need to fight. He's a manipulator. He's the devil. He's the dude behind the scenes.
well, I mean, technically he did win because I mean, if you watch New Hope, Luke wants to join the Empire.
Right.
What?
That's all propaganda.
Does he
though.
really?
Yeah, that's what. That's why he wants to leave.
No, he wants
He
to
wanted
join the rebellion
rebels.
like his friends did.
Oh, I thought he wanted to join the Empire.
No.
Oh,
You
I
were
thought
watching the super secret deluxe edition that Lucas put out when he went crazy.
Gotcha. Is that the one where you CGI Boba Fett and then Han Solo steps on his tail
Yeah.
and his eyes like bug out?
That's Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, Jabba.
Boba Fett doesn't have a tail. That I'm,
That you know of.
that I'm aware of. Yeah. Okay, Boba Fett.
Darth Sidious.
Sidious. Tyler.
Since Daniel stole Boba Fett.
That's why I
But
wanted to
I do
go
have a
first.
question about Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett is a Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
So,
Boba Fett is a Mandalorian clone
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Django.
yeah.
Okay.
So he
another-
is Django then.
He's a
technically.
clone.
He's a clone.
Technically,
He's
I've
a
been hearing
clone
this
with
word a lot.
no aging, so he doesn't.
No, he ages, but he ages. His aging is
He ages
slow.
normally.
I thought he aged. No, yeah, you're right, because the clones have hyper age.
Yeah.
The clones aged
Right.
fast to
So-
maturity
alright.
and then slowed
My
after
fault.
that.
All right, my fault.
Mandalorian. I've been hearing this word a lot. I don't know much about extended Star Wars universe, and I've never seen it mentioned in any of the actual mainstream stuff.
It's
so-
the race of people. They're a warring. They're such a warring faction that they actually destroyed their planet, and they live in like these bubbles.
Yeah, and then they became like this just giant group of mercenaries and bounty hunters because they realize they can't like
Fight each
sustain
other.
themselves fighting for each other. And then the steel on Mandalore, like the base ore is so strong it creates one of the best metals in the galaxy until you get to Cortosis.
Okay, and then apparently it can also deflect lightsabers and such.
No,
No,
that's the
it-
one property Mandalorian can't do.
No, I think it can do glancing blows. Like it can rub off a glancing blow. Like Stormtrooper outfit, it would go right through it. But I think it can do a glancing blow.
Well, Stormtrooper armor is not Mandalorian; it's Laminar.
No, but what I was saying is, you said it couldn't. I don't think it can stop a full-on thrust,
Right.
but I think it can.
Like if it brushes,
maybe.
it's not just going to go right through. Is what I'm saying, right?
So when you get that limp-wristed Jedi, it's like,
You know,
Okay.
if Solo had a
It didn't do a whole lot
lightsaber,
of good for Django.
well, he went at the neck. There's no protection there.
Right.
Adam's a Mandalorian.
So what
Smith.
was your question, my man? We kind of cut
No,
you
I
off.
was
as
wondering
always.
like why. I remember like for a while like the Mandalorian emblem was like everywhere. Like, please tell me it's not on your walk. What became so big about that? Like, why did that suddenly rise? Like, did some hipster like pick that out of obscurity
And put it on Adam's
and be like,
wallet?
hey,
Wasn't
let's
that
put
about-
this in Hot Topic and Spencer's.
It's just a skull. It's cool looking.
What?
I think that, and then some of the resurfacing of Star Wars saw like the Return of the Mandalorian. So like when you saw Clone Wars and some of the other like Star Wars IPs come out, they brought Mandalorians back into the forefront. People were like, oh, Mandalorians are cool.
Okay. Oh, all right. So what are we doing? Underrated? Overrated.
Overrated, yeah.
I would say Darth Plagueis.
Okay, because that's who everyone was talking about being Snoke.
Well, that, and because, you have the scene in Revenge of the Sith where, like, he's telling this awesome story of this super powerful Sith Lord that can literally create life, and then that's it. Like, it sounds like the most powerful Sith Lord ever. It's like, you get, like, 3 minutes while there's a bubble opera going on.
But Lucas could have been doing something with that, because didn't he write episode 8 and 9, or write episode 8 a treatment for 9, and when Disney bought him out, he actually gave it to him, and the head of it, J.J. Abrams, and the lady was like, yeah, thank you, we'll do something with that.
I don't know the full story, but I think something like that happened, yeah.
Yeah, because I think he wanted to direct.
I mimed crushing it up and throwing it away, by the way.
Man, if that was a huge script, you're extremely powerful to just
Hulk level strength right there.
Yes. Snyder?
My overrated character was Boba Fett.
Okay.
And I like, there's nobody else in that universe that I can think of that's like that overrated. Like he's the guy.
What's the fanboys quote about Boba Fett's overrated? He's all style, no substance. He's like the Rocketeer, but the Rocketeer's awesome.
Yeah.
If you don't like the Rocketeer, go to hell.
Okay. Okay. I'm preparing myself for the hipster backlash y'all are gonna give me. My overrated character is the Force.
That's dumb.
Not really a character.
Yeah. That's not a character. But okay, so
You could say the midi-chlorians.
Well, I don't. This is typical Adam. He gives us homework that's like this specific, and then he's like, "No, this is what I actually meant."
okay, so let me present my argument, and you guys start tearing me up.
Yep, next level Adam. Yep, all right.
Okay. So the Force. So
Fuck you.
So it started out as a select few who were brave, smart, and strong enough could tap in and Force and use it, in like the original Tridge, right? It was rare, and like no one believed in it, or it had become like a myth or a legend.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Which I liked. Then it turned into a medical condition with the prequels, a condition that everyone has. But some have it worse or better, however you want to look at it.
Okay, introducing the midichlorians and like you have the highest amount of
So-
midichlorians I've
so
ever
basically-
seen.
If you didn't wash your hands enough. you
So
had
basically,
midichlorians.
it goes down to if you have really good genetics, you could be a really good Jedi. Not if you believe hard enough and train, you could tap into this mystical part of the universe. It's just, oh yeah, you got really good genetics, man. Yeah, you're gonna be good.
I can kind of see that.
So
actually.
I hated that, and then this is what really pisses me off with a lot of the extended universe now that has become canon and the new stuff. All right, where am I here? I wrote this down.
Jesus.
So now, literally everyone has the Force, can tap into the Force, or is Force sensitive. Literally everything, from inanimate objects to animals to droids. Even Han Solo is rumored to be Force sensitive. So rather than being the pimp smuggler that he is, it's like now saying that he's Force sensitive,
But
and
it
he
makes
doesn't,
sense,
and he
'cause
doesn't
he's-
realize he's tapping into the Force. That's
He
why he's
always
able
says, I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, that's been his tagline since
He's-
movie one.
He's using the Force. So I mean, they've said that from the beginning.
And
You're
just
wrong.
because you're Force sensitive doesn't mean that you can develop that to become a Jedi and have all these.
No, but see, I like the idea. I like the idea of just like we were talking about Westeros, whatever that show's called.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Thank you. So there's these mystical people who've got the Force, who have these superpowers, and then there's these soldiers, these smugglers, these janitors, whatever, who are living in this world, who are getting by because they are skilled in artillery. They're ace pilots. They're like Poe is supposedly Force sensitive
really?
now.
No, Poe's no way is Force sensitive.
It's in the comics.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like, why can't Han Solo just be like this?
A badass?
Yeah, why can't Han Solo just be like, yeah, man, I don't know how I survived that. I just pulled that out of my ass.
Okay, I didn't know that they
I-
were making everyone.
Like droids now are Force sensitive. Like
You can't have a Force sensitive droid. Which one is supposed to be Force sensitive?
I'll look it up. I'll Google it.
Okay, because that was the big thing about Grievous. That's why he had all the lightsabers, and that's why he was like cobbling parts of himself together and trying to create lungs and things, is because he was trying to be Force sensitive.
So he wasn't. No, I thought
And-
Grievous was actually a flesh and blood creature, and then just over the years he enhanced himself to become more robotic.
Skippy the Jedi droid. He is an R5D4.
Doesn't make him Force sensitive. He's
Yeah,
how does he
Yeah, he's
like? What is he? How? What? Give me the storyline. Give me
Okay,
the fluff
okay,
on
I'm
why.
getting there, I'm
No,
getting
hurry
there.
up. Do it now, Adam. I don't care about the
Alright,
internet
alright,
speed.
pissing him off. Isn't it your internet?
so
It
it's
is.
It's his computer more than it's his.
Yeah.
so it's this droid. It's the droid from New Hope.
The one that blows up?
How?
The
He
one that
blew
blows
up.
up.
How are they
He blows.
justifying
Okay,
that
so,
as-
so whoa, we are like redlining here. Okay,
Sorry.
so he blows up because he knows Luke needs these two
Oh,
droids.
that's a bunch
That's,
of
that's not
my-
a real thing.
Yeah, it is. It's in here. That's my point. That's why I'm saying I hate this stuff.
There's
That's-
no way.
What is this website?
Wikipedia. It's the official.
Like,
No,
what's
no. That's not real.
what's the citation?
Yeah, it is. Let me find it.
Well,
Hang
did
on.
it come from a creator?
Yeah, it's part of the lore.
Yeah, but
You know,
where?
The fanfic lore?
So, however, R5 soon envisioned that without Luke, stormtroopers would come and take R2 back to Vader, where he would be destroyed and Leia would
The
be
next
killed.
big thing in food was once a little paper box. Now we can easily take.
Sorry about that.
This episode brought to you by.
So,
Put it
however,
in a paper box.
R5 soon envisioned that without Luke, stormtroopers would come and take R2 back to Vader, where he would be destroyed and Leia would be killed, leading to a chain reaction horror that would include the rebellion being destroyed, R5's memory being wiped, and 3PO refuses to translate his rubbish, and Luke dying on Tatooine, blah, blah, blah. R5 knew what he had to do and suddenly set off a mild explosion inside himself.
Well, where's
What's
the
the source?
citation?
Where's the
that says-
citation that says like this is from whatever?
Like, there should
source?
be like a little number.
Yeah, I want to know what that's
Just because it's on the
from
internet
because
does not mean it's true.
Because
Yeah,
that's
I d-
one.
no,
that's
now-
that's some crazy force powers to see that far.
listening to that, it kind of sounds like a what if or an Elseworlds,
Yeah.
which Dark Horse has done, and that stuff was considered canon until Marvel took over. So, as
And that's-
much as I hate to give Adams props, if this is from the Dark Horse comics,
Man, this is
it
gonna-
was canon at one
This is gonna
point.
be one of the things where he was like right about Die Hard, and everyone was pissed off.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't him that was right about Die Hard.
So
it was
remind
someone
me to
else.
look at it so we can continue with the podcast. Remind me to look at it later. So don't let me drop it.
What's his name?
Skippy the droid.
Okay.
It's an R5D4. But anyways, my point being, if this turns out to be wrong, then fine, I'll admit it. But everyone seems to have force sensitivity. Poe's force sensitive. Han Solo's. Why can't they just be really skilled? Like they live in this world of magic and lightsabers and space Nazis and Hitler with a samurai mask. Why can't there just be they're not humans, whatever the hell they are. This a badass fighter, like he has sacrificed, he has trained.
Fuck, I don't like agreeing with Adam.
I'm tired of everything being force sensitive.
I agree,
think-
but the thing to think about is where are you pulling the information that these people are force sensitive from? Because most of it's probably bullshit.
A lot of the canon stuff here.
Like,
Finn supposedly is force sensitive. That's why he was able to defend off. He was force sensitive enough to defend off Kylo Ren's attack in Force Awakens.
I don't think you have to be force sensitive to swing a lightsaber around.
But he fought off Kylo Ren,
Even
trained.
after Kylo Ren was already wounded after getting shot by Chewie.
But
My
he
question
is
is, if Kylo Ren's this big badass, how did Rey, who's
because that's another thing. Rey is a Mary Sue. I have
She
no
is.
I have no problem with a female lead. She's a Mary Sue.
Okay, explain that.
A Mary Sue. Daniel, help me out because I butchered it last
It's
time.
a character with no flaws.
gotcha?
The god of the story, like the perfect, like Batman's.
Do no
Batman's got
wrong,
flaws.
always be the
Okay.
Oh God,
Okay, now if I'm wrong, I will fully admit to it. So this.
No, as much as I hate to admit it.
Oh, God.
no!
Hey, whoa, we're redlining. Wow. It can't.
Okay.
It can't pain you that much.
So, it was printed in Star Wars Tales #1 by Dark Horse Comics.
Damn it!
Holy.
There's another reason for people not to like.
So it was technically canon until Marvel erased the entire EU.
All right, so I'm
And
I'm half wrong.
now it's no longer considered canon.
Wait, but at one
and
point
they
it was,
addressed
right.
this in one of the cartoons. I think it said it was Clone Wars. They address it, and they talk about the legend, or it's in the droids. In the droids thing, they talk about the legend of Skippy the Jedi droid, but there's no confirmation on whether it's a real thing or not. Just it's a legend. It's a myth.
kind of what Skywalker became after the end of 8.
That's
Yeah.
And then I can see where Adam got a point about the Force. It's like back then, it was like back in the Ridge Tridge, and even then, you had to have. I like the sound of it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna make it. I like it.
It's a thing.
hashtag Ridge Tridge.
Well, you
Hashtag shoot me in the face.
you like
I
now
would-
everybody.
I would never do that to you.
You have to go special training to be able to use it. Back in the Ridge Tridge, he wasn't just able. But nowadays, Rey can just bam, like I can see where like she just bam, she's already as powerful as Kylo, who's been training for years.
Yeah.
But she can match him in Force after doing one meditation with Luke.
No, at that point, she didn't even
Yeah,
have
she
meditation
didn't.
with Luke because she fights Kylo Ren in Force Awakens.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the second fight.
Oh, sorry.
The even more busted one. like the reason I dislike the newest Star Wars movie.
Okay, moving on. Sorry.
Tally-ho.
So it wasn't that bad. You all didn't give me that
There's
much
three.
crap.
No,
Okay, so underrated character. Mine is Stormtrooper. Any incarnation of it. I think they're underrated. I think if you take away all the goofiness like Robot Chicken and Family Guy and all the like their bad shots, you take all that away and you take a Stormtrooper and you make a really cool movie out of it. I think the Stormtrooper in any incarnation can be a really cool character. Like do them like the Magnificent Seven. What team are they on?
oh,
What team are they on?
The Magnificent Seven?
No, the Stormtrooper.
The Imperials.
The Imperials. So the Imperials, and like the ridge tridge sideways. So it's like the ridge tridge and then down here and like point 4.5 or something, 5.4.
the problem is
Hang on.
But
So
5.4.
so the Imperials drop them off. Drop this squad of stormtroopers off on this like really desolate planet or not desolate, but like far off planet near the uncharted part of space. Why? Because the Emperor needs that planet for some reason. That's not the point. So they go there, and there's two warring factions on that. There's two warring factions. So either the more primitive faction, they hire the stormtroopers, or this out of goodness of their hearts, they protect that, and it becomes like a Magnificent
I'm gonna stop
Seven
you.
style. Oh, okay.
that's not going to happen.
Well, I know it's not going to happen. I'm just saying, I think that would be a cool.
No, it'd be a cool idea, but not in that time frame. Like stormtroopers genetically engineered to follow orders.
No,
Been
not-
working with the Jedi
They weren't-
for years on end.
They weren't clones
and-
at that
and-
point, were they? In the Ridge
were-
Tridge, the clones had died out.
Not all of them. There are a few clones that still exist in the Stormtroopers, but most of the Stormtroopers are then like indoctrinated children at that
Right.
point.
Like even then, it's still raised from birth to do this. They are so indoctrinated. Like
Finn broke the conditioning.
yeah, but
Surely
that's
he
because he's
wouldn't-
force sensitive.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. But I'm just saying, I think stormtroopers are an underrated character. I think if you strip away all the pop culture nonsense that they have now, them dancing and all, like, just make a really cool We Were Soldiers style movie. I think it'd be neat.
That would be a kind of a neat idea, and I think the new trilogy of movies have really done a lot to make Star Wars cool, or the Stormtroopers cool. So, like, you got the complete Star Wars badass, the Stormtroopers badass scenes in 7 and 8, with the traitor guy, and then you have how they just demolished the team of Rogue One. Like, they've done a lot better, I think,
Which one?
improving the image. Rogue One,
Which one?
the Rogue One.
Okay. I thought the Death Troopers were really cool. I wish they would do more. Like any incarnation, I love. It's just a really cool design. It's an image that you can just put whatever emotion you want onto
You
it.
just want somebody to shine a light on the maintenance men of the Imperial Army. Is that it?
Plus, honorable mention, underrated character, Dash Rendar,
Dash Rendar was okay.
the original smuggler pimp, cooler sidekick, cooler ride.
No.
Yes.
There's no ride.
The
anywhere.
Outrider is
No.
badass.
No.
I will fight you to the death. Over
Let's
this.
go.
Okay.
Think
Take
a
it outside.
You think because a guy reads comics can't start shit?
Darth.
See,
Dash
you don't even remember his
Rendar
name.
is a pimp.
You don't even remember his name.
He's got that cool gun.
You shut your whore mouth.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Just conceits.
So underrated stormtrooper, go.
Greedo.
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 Oh, by the way, Dash Rendar always shoots first. Okay, go.
Yeah, so I think Greedo does not get the props he should. Like, Greedo was like a legit bounty hunter, and he's like, there's not a whole lot of Rhodians on Tatooine, and it's not really their environment. So he did not just stumble across Han Solo in the cantina. He hunted Han Solo down. So you have this bounty hunter who could track one of the best smugglers in the universe, and he just gets chumped out. Like, he needs to get way more props than he did.
Did you see the
And-
lead scene of him in the prequel?
No, I don't think so.
Little baby Greedo.
That was just a Rhodian.
I thought it was supposed to be Greedo.
Maybe it's supposed to be Greedo, but there's no
Oh.
confirmation of that, I don't think, not in the movie anyway.
Wikipedia.
Google it. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I think Greedo, pretty badass character, doesn't get nearly the respect he does especially because he came this close to shooting Han as he was dying.
So, all right, which side do you fall on that argument?
Which one?
Does Han shoot first?
Oh, Han shoots first.
Okay.
Han shoots first.
Han shoots. There is no first. First implies that there was a second shot.
Oh,
One.
like it. Yeah, college grad, whatever. Okay, Cody. Stormtrooper, Greedo.
CP3O.
Really?
CP3O, huh?
That's his cousin. That's C-3PO's cousin.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Like people just make him the comedic support throughout all the movies he's in. Like
He's been in all of them.
Yeah, he's been in every single movie. Well, he has, I think. Yeah, I
He's
haven't
the
seen
only-
Rogue One.
He's the
Which
only
one?
Star Wars character to be in every
I'm not doing it.
like of the main Star Wars movies.
Right. He gets so much shit for just being the comic relief character or the distraction when he, without him being there, there was, what are the other options for stuff that happens? Like, no, you have to have him there too to explain all of R2-D2 moves. Like, yeah, they can understand, but we don't know what the hell he's saying.
Han Solo could have picked it up.
There's even
He was more sensitive.
Yeah.
there's even a fan theory that C-3PO is a spy for the Imperials or something like that, isn't it? Like he turns out to be more than what he actually is.
Like,
Yeah, I mean
more than
C-3PO does a
meets the
lot
eye.
of
Yeah.
a lot of stupid things.
Plan on the forest moon of Endor does not happen to CP3. There was no way to communicate with the Ewoks without him.
Oh, because he was a god.
He was a god and also a translator with over 1,000 different languages.
More than that.
More than that.
Protocol droids.
Yeah, like
Human cyborg relations.
cyborg relations.
That's as close as I can get.
Okay. All right.
Looks pretty good.
We do not know where the hell C3 R2-D2 is going without CP3O.
R2-D2.
Too many numbers and letters.
I'm bad at
It's
numbers
math
and
all
letters.
over again.
Cody,
He
it's
said
me and you.
duty.
Me and you. They always pick on us for talking. They always pick on us for talking.
Yeah, but at least people understand what I'm trying to
We're
say.
always on the same.
Oh, you
we're
son
on
of
the
a
same
bitch!
side.
I was
Cody.
trying to be on your side.
No,
Fuck that side of the table.
First thing you can, turn on Adam.
That's the right play. How else do we prep them up as the baby face?
They
I
would-
found out where heel came from. I'll tell you that later.
Oh, sweet.
Because you're putting your boot heels to them.
Oh, that's not true.
Without CP3O, R2-D2 would never have gone with Luke in the family because he said, my friend is actually proficient in that. And that's how he got there. Not because Skippy, what was that droid that Skippy blew up? No, it's because CP3O, yeah, he can do that job. He's my he can do that job. And he brought him forward.
Okay. Stormtrooper, Greedo, C-3PO.
It's an alien race called the.
You just
SOGs.
randomly look something up.
No.
Okay, it's
no. This is gonna make
okay.
you mad
Okay.
because it's the race where ET's from.
Okay, fuck.
They're
it.
in Phantom.
Steiner.
Okay, all right. Here's my real one. It's Chewbacca,
How is he underrated, man? People love him.
but he doesn't get. But they don't. What reasons do people love him? Like
The bandolier,
He's big and
But that has
fuzzy.
nothing to do with him.
a cool ZZ Top beard.
But that has nothing
Crossbow?
to do with him.
He is the best comic relief in any of the movies.
But I mean, there's nothing like about his history that people really give a crap about.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
an argument. All right.
his whole entire history is like the one throwaway line where Yoda's like, "I will miss you, also Chewbacca," and
Really?
yeah,
That's not how he said it though,
No,
was it?
hell no, because I'm not Frank Oz.
Until we see again, meet again, my friend Chewbacca. or
Doesn't
something
he
like
say
that.
it backwards though?
I don't know. I don't speak Yoda.
It makes my brain hurt trying to talk with Yoda.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But it's
I think it was
saying
"Miss
C-3PO
you, I
and
will,
Yoda.
my friend Chewbacca." I think is how he
Yeah.
says it. Anyway,
But I'm saying like that's it. It's like okay, there's a throwaway line, and like okay,
The Wookiee life jet.
Chewbacca's really That's why, because I got bitched out by one of my friends that really likes Star Wars about how Chewie just hangs around Han because he's a pimp, and then you find out that I didn't say he's a pimp because you said it.
Oh, okay.
Take that fist pump back. That was a very hipster thing to do anyway. There's like Han saved Chewie's life, so that's why Chewie's with him. So that's something I hope happens in Solo. It's not just like Han's running down a starship and bumps into Chewie. He's like, "Let's go, you and me, buddy cop."
Surely there's going to be the life debt. There's going to be the Kessel Run. We saw the origin of the trailer, the pistol. We're going to see the origin of the scar on because Harrison Ford had a scar. So surely we're going to see. Well,
I'm sure he's going to
The
win the
meeting
ship.
of Lando and Han.
Yeah.
I would
win the
think
ship.
so, and don't
Yeah.
call me Shirley.
But I mean,
Hands.
Sorry.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, people love Chewie. They didn't love him enough to give him a medal at the end of New
Yeah.
Hope.
Did they ever explain that?
I don't believe so. Not
Leia,
that I'm aware of.
Leia hugs Rey after Han dies and
Yeah.
just leaves Chewie.
Yeah. Did they ever explain that one?
Like,
They did explain it.
No, they
Oh,
don't.
they
No.
don't.
You've hung out with Han for like, let's just say a week, give you a long period of time, but I think it was like 2 days. I don't know how time passes on those planets, but
Slow.
like there's Chewie that's just like,
So that seems like it's more intentional than it is, and I really like the idea that Rey is Han and Leia's daughter.
I hate that. Hate that.
I want their.
well,
To me, the whole Star Wars story focuses on the rise and fall of Anakin Skywalker. To me, that's the whole point of Star Wars.
Yeah, the Skywalker family.
But to me, I like it when it's just Darth Vader and Luke and that whole section.
So what? Sisters don't matter?
No, I hate my sister. She doesn't listen
Whoa,
to this podcast.
Yeah, she don't. Okay, all right. Stormtrooper, Greedo, C-3PO, Chewbacca. I liked your argument. I take it back.
Yeah, fuck you.
Snyder, overrated or underrated? Sorry.
Say Jar Jar Binks. Say Jar Jar Binks and then argue it and win. And I'll give you $1 million.
Only because of the fan theory that came up.
oh,
Is it the one where
My answer is Jar Jar
Because
Binks.
because he's Snoke or because he's a Sith?
Because he was the puppet master, the
Yeah.
puppeteer behind the entire thing the whole time.
he is the one that gives the Emperor supreme powers. I hate to admit it because
But can't you look at it as
Hey, the whole
can't
thing
you look
was-
at that Palpatine saw this simpleton and was like, I'm going to manipulate you, not Jar Jar manipulating everyone.
If
Well,
you-
so
Yeah, but
Clone
what-
Wars kind of adds to that,
son.
and yeah, Jar Jar Binks does in the Clone Wars cartoon. He does some really stupid things that really help out the Empire, and it's kind of ambiguous on whether they were really an accident or
So
not.
what would you believe the most? Like, would it be more believable if he was just some idiot that somebody was taking advantage of? Probably. But if you really want to hide who you are and what your motivations are, don't you want to come off like a bumbling idiot to everyone around you so they don't actually see the machinations that you're like doing behind
So
the
you're
scenes?
talking like the drunken master style. You act like
Yeah.
you're drunk, but you're a badass fighter.
Jar Jar is the drunken master of setting up the Empire with everything.
What's
they
his-
do.
Wait, is this the thing that you do to me to get me to do things around the store?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what's his Darth name? What's his?
He's so Darth, he doesn't need a name.
He's
Oh,
so
it's
Darth.
Darth. It's
So
Darth Misa.
oh my god. Well, I think if you watch
If that's not canon, I quit.
if you watch episode 1, part of that theory was like when he's talking with Qui-Gon or something. Qui-Gon's like trying to use the Force, and Jar Jar's like moving his mouth. So that's where
Right,
like the theory
yeah.
came from.
Yeah, and he's flipping around with that battle droid on his
Yeah.
foot. Yeah. I've seen all the theory. I like them. I think they're cool. Okay, fine. I will go with it. That's fine.
So do I get my $1 million?
He's
I didn't agree
he's
to
the
$1 million.
bank.
Did I agree to $1 million?
Yeah,
Tom?
you said
No,
you
Tyler said.
Nope, he's
Yeah,
the
Tyler
bank.
said.
Tyler said he'd give you the $1 million.
I said
No.
he, and by he I meant the royal he, as in Adam.
I identify with a woman.
That explains a lot.
Whatever. By the
Apparently an
time we
extra
leave,
small woman.
by the time we leave here tonight, there needs to be
I
some money
think
exchange.
secretly
of some
he
kind.
bought it for himself.
Okay, before moving on to the kind of cool surprise I got for you guys, going back to episode 8.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask this question without getting too political or offending anyone. What is the deal with this SJW backlash on? I guess I could have looked into it, but I kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. Like, everyone's complaining that episode 8 has now become, because of SJWs writing it and creating Star Wars, SJWs have, they said that about Battlefront, the new Battlefront, they said that about the new episode 8.
The problem is you have people like the MRA group which you're, I think,
I
the
am
president
not.
of.
I had to look that up. How can I be the president?
So,
I'm gonna pull an Adam. What the hell's S?
he tried.
Social Justice Warriors.
Ah, gotcha.
He's
I'm not a
trying.
hit.
He's trying to Jar Jar us. He's known about the MRA the whole time.
He does have.
Misa not trying to Jar Jar you.
That's
Lisa killed the Asians.
That's
So, so I forgot
there,
what I was.
there
even
goes
saying.
what was our new?
Okay. Oh yeah. The
listeners?
problem with that is you have all these like hardcore right people and all these MRA douchebags who are like, oh well, other people that aren't what I want to see on the screen are getting shown, and then there's backlash from that small community, but they're all over the place on all the message boards, all that stuff online, so it looks like a larger portion of the population than it actually is.
Yeah, it's how dare the main interesting characters not be white men. That's what it is.
I'm gonna admit, I don't like Rey. Like I said before, I don't like Rey.
'Cause she's part Asian?
Not because she's a woman, but okay, so you guys can label me as whatever. When I go to a movie, I have no problem with her being the star, being the lead. I have no problem going to see an action film with the heroine being clearly being a lady. I don't care. But to me, as a man, as a heterosexual male who I put myself in the place of the man. Like, you know, when I watch a movie, I'm like, let's see if I can do this. I can't really do that with Rey. I got no problem with her, so I guess I just don't understand what the problem is. Like, then I go, I got Kylo Ren here, or I got Han Solo here. I still got Luke Skywalker.
Well, Han Solo's way down that reactor shaft.
Right. So I mean,
I
I don't
can definitely do that.
Is it because?
I can fall to my death.
Is it because
I drunkenly fell last night. Sorry.
So what's the deal? Is it because there's a female lead and there's a black stormtrooper?
It's because we have our main cast of characters is a black man and a woman, and then our main two generals are both women, and then we have a romp into the galaxy where we have an Asian woman.
Sorry, Adam.
And you're just waiting on that.
And we have the smuggler had a speech impediment. Like,
well, that's cool. That's a characteristic. I love that.
Me too.
That's
But
what I enjoyed about that
it's oh no, all the characters in this movie are minorities or women or have a disability, and it's such a stupid argument.
But that's life.
That's the whole point of a galaxy.
Because you're going to see different
Yeah.
people. And so instead of trying to go, I only want to see white people and being a stupid racist douchebag, you should go, this is what the world looks like. This is more realistic and representative to how the population's going to look.
Exactly. And the main complaint is that the two, you can do 2.5 really, of the male white characters in
Who's
the
the
movie,
half?
the smuggler, are evil or screw-ups. Because Kylo's evil, the smuggler's a betrayal guy, and then you have Poe Dameron, who does nothing right for the entire movie and gets punished.
But
for
he's
it.
not screwing up because he's an idiot. He's screwing up, and he's trying to do what's right. He's not a bumbling fool.
Because his force sensitivity is all over the place, and
No, he just screws things up because he thinks he knows better than the general is, and the general is looking at the long term while he's looking at the short term.
I guess I just don't get because who was the biggest badass in that movie?
Rey.
Mark Hamill, a white man. So I don't understand what the problem is. Here's my only argument to that. I have no problem with expanding a story into multiple ethnicities.
I frankly am mad that we didn't have any alien main characters in that movie. It was all human.
Exactly. Well,
I'm trying to watch.
Chewbacca was.
He was just there.
there it is.
So
There
anyway,
it is. Underrated Chewbacca.
okay. So anyway, here's
we
my.
really
Chewie for
sorry,
president.
I don't mean to cut you off. We really need to start getting some like Rhodians or Twi'lek interesting characters that aren't just in the background. We really need to do that.
I agree. It's a giant universe. Clearly, the aliens are going to outnumber they're not humans. What are they? Humanoid? What do they classify these?
I think they call them humans. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Wikipedia.
Anyway, my argument is this: if the story if you're writing a story, I have no problem with creating a world with multiple ethnicities and sexes and whatever the variety of life, because I dig that. The problem I have is when a person, because art is art. Okay, if you want to create a movie, who's a really horrible person? Hitler. If you want to make a movie about a love letter to Hitler, you have every right to do that. That's what art is. Okay, My problem is someone who takes a piece of art and comes in and just says, this person needs to be black, that needs to be a female, she needs to be gay, he needs to be a person who needs to think he's a woman, that needs to be this, that needs to be that, and they're just doing that to write it up, not to, everything to me needs to support the story. And if you are the artist and you're writing a story and you're like, I want this character to be a gay black Mexican for no reason, just because I haven't seen that established in the world and it's not brought up and it's not, that's great. You want to have a gay black Mexican, that's fine. But if you're just putting that in there because you feel like gay
Make
black
people happy.
Yeah, that I have a problem. And I don't feel like the Star Wars was doing that. Because the whole Ridge Tridge, actually 1 through 6, was Anakin and then Luke. So, and then I kind of felt like Leia should have got her trilogy here, but it shows another story. I mean, I don't understand the problem.
And I understand that too. Like, you remember back when in the Ultimate Universe when the original Spider-Man died.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they introduced Miles Morales. Up until that point, nobody cared if Spider-Man died in the mainstream, but it was released that the new Spider-Man is going to be a black Latino.
Yeah, he was half black, half Latino.
Right.
But they didn't. They thought like, they made Peter Parker into black. No, it was a completely different character. But they didn't care about that fact. We
talked about this on episode 1. Way back when, about when Thor became a woman. Mm-hmm. It was not Thor Odinson becoming transgendered. It was a woman picking up the hammer of Thor and becoming Thor.
So I guess my argument is I hate the people who are bitching because that's the way life is, and I also hate the people who feel like they need to police the script because they feel because I'm not
appealing to enough.
Here's the main point with that. Like, I understand where you're coming from. Like, creatively, if you're writing the story, you've got a vision in mind of what you want your characters to look like, and if somebody comes in and tells you, hey, I want you to do it this way, it's kind of a frustrating scenario, so I can understand that. But the important part to think about is, what did you say about Rey when you were talking about Rey?
That I can't relate to her as a
and that's the point. So it's important for people who are making these movies to go, well, we need to represent more people because of the fact that it's harder to relate to someone if they don't look like you.
Right,
absolutely.
That's the main thing is, so if the writer is not working some of that, like if the setting doesn't make any sense whatsoever for what's going on with the story, for the characters to look a certain way or whatever, then obviously don't do it. But if you're trying to make money, you want to be able to have more different characters that more of the audience can relate to for different
reasons. That's what I was trying to say. If that's not how it came out, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
If you're writing a character named Rey, and in your head, say you're the writer, and you're writing a character named Rey, and in your head he's a male, but there's nothing in the script other than when you're writing a script, you give a small description, 25-year-old alien male, and then someone comes up to you and be like, hey, we have this actress. What do you think about turning her into a female? Because it doesn't affect the story. Yeah, all right. And there's precedent for this.
Yeah.
Ripley is a badass character.
Yes. Ripley was supposed to be a dude.
Yeah. But there was nothing in the script besides the description of who the character was that it was a male. Nothing. It didn't change anything in the script. Sigourney Weaver was clearly a good choice for it, and that's what I'm saying. If you go, hey, I know someone who can act the shit out of this part, but she's a female. All right, well, fine. That doesn't seem to change anything. I've got no problem. I'm just saying to people who police it and say that person needs to be gay now. Well, why? That doesn't.
Like when they made Alan Scott gay.
But at the same time, if it doesn't change anything,
that was?
Why does it
that was in
matter?
Earth 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't make the original JSA Alan Scott gay. It was just Earth 2 gay.
Okay, maybe I'm not.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying the people who come in. I'm not saying I'm not talking about collaboration. Collaboration is always great.
But if a studio comes in and says, do this, do this,
yes, I'm talking about a dictatorship that comes in and says this needs to be that, this needs to be that. Well, that doesn't make it doesn't matter. Make it make sense.
There's actually a really funny thing about that.
I agree with you 100%.
So Alan Scott in Earth 2 has got like this kind of weird energy thing, and his primary weakness is to wood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we were talking about gay Alan Scott.
That probably got really confusing, guys. Sorry about that.
Anyway, okay. So I guess I don't understand because I have never besides Batman v Superman, I've never seen so many people bitch about a movie more than the last.
So was The Last Jedi the one that people got? So like there wasn't that
People-
much
They were
back.
doing it about Force Awakens.
There's YouTube videos of people throwing away their Star Wars
So were
collectibles
people
because of this movie.
were people as mad when the one that Adam likes? I'm not gonna say the name of it because
Which one?
The Rogue One?
yeah. I
dumb with both of you.
don't know his name, but it's
Hands.
it's the male counterpart to Jin. The guy. Doesn't he speak with like a thick Mexican accent? Or I thought he has an accent, doesn't he?
He does. He has a thick accent. I don't know what kind it is, but he does have a thick accent.
I just remember like before it came out, like
He's
there-
South American in the actor. South
yeah,
American?
I think it's like
Somewhere?
Brazilian or something like that.
like some actor, like he took his dad to see the movie and was like, I'm glad that because most people they have like an accent, they either make them change it or drop it. Because pretty much all the accents in Star Wars are either English or
Well, I think you have
English.
an English accent. If you have if you have the Queen's English, then you're a bad guy. But I think they switched that up in the new Tridge.
A little bit, but yeah. Then there's actually kind of a funny joke. Like the whole concept behind that was because George Lucas was trying to draw parallels to this world and the other one.
Right.
So because of the Revolutionary War, he grabbed a whole bunch of he wanted all the Empire to be British to represent England.
Plus, they were shooting in Pinewood, so that's kind of Pinewood Studios.
fuck you,
Yeah, I think
England.
so yeah.
So anyway, I don't understand because everything that I hate about Episode 8 is the reason why I love it. Like, I wanted Snoke to be somebody. I wanted Rey's parents to be somebody. I wanted Luke Skywalker to go in there and just tear the shit up out of people. Like I wanted all that. But then I saw what they did. I'm like, I like that. I like that Snoke just was out. But I also hate it. So like,
It's that anticipation, like, even I have friends who aren't even that big Star Wars fan, but they would still go into crazy fan theories about this movie too. Like they were saying, like, oh, is Rey's actually Qui-Gon Jinn's illegitimate granddaughter or something like that? They was putting so many theories and theories and theories behind this movie, and that this movie, it sort of felt like, are you serious? You just like that?
I like that. I like that she hands. I thought it was a little bit comical, but I like how he hands Rey hands lightsaber more.
I like the fan theory that Snoke is the stormtrooper from Episode 4 that hits his head on the door, and that's why he's got the scar right here.
That makes me so happy that not only did they leave it in, they accented it in the later editions. I love that.
That's
so
the
much.
one thing that he left.
But I think he had to leave it in. I mean, I don't think he left anything on the cutting room floor. Lucas,
God.
that first one, I think he literally, he would up to the point because you roll a little bit, you say action. I think he literally would play everything and then dub out the action part because he needed every freaking part of this movie because it was such a nightmare to make.
The first one?
Yeah.
Actually, they cut a lot of stuff out and repieced it together, and like there was a lot of stuff they didn't use. And like when they were making the movie, they had to. His wife and the other people that were actually doing the editing and stuff, they like kicked him out of the room and like made a watchable movie out of it because he was just terrible as a director.
Fun fact: that's how C-3PO and R2-D2 got their names.
R2-D2 got his name from working on THX whatever
1138.
when they were editing it, because R2-D2 is real 2 dial 2, so
Yeah, from the editing room.
right from THX whatever, not from Star Wars, because they were using that dialogue in the movie.
Yeah. The editing process
Right,
is
okay.
how they got their names.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I added it.
We don't fight on our side.
I added a little bit.
Yeah.
Hands.
Cody, you feel left out. You look
Don't-
left
don't
out.
do it,
I'm
Cody.
not.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So
Cody's like, I don't fucking touch people.
okay. So I'm sorry. Okay. All right. all right.
No, he wants to complain about hands. Fine, I won't do anything with my hands.
Okay, so I have a surprise for tonight. Okay, so the podcast is all about damage
Oh,
control.
no! Put your pants on.
Oh, that's not a surprise. I
couldn't
do
see it
pants all the
anyway.
time.
That's fair. I
It's
didn't-
certainly not a big surprise.
We're just trying to cry out for help. We just don't know how to help.
Okay, so this whole podcast is about damage control, right? I want to read you a synopsis from Adventures of Starkiller Episode 1, Star Wars. And I'm going to read you, it's a second draft of the script. It's not the script, it's a synopsis. Okay? So I'm going to read you that, and we're going to like look at how he damage controlled his own script. I know we're running, I'm going to read it fast. Tyler, give me the opening crawl song.
No, I don't want to ruin it.
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay,
dun,
so
dun,
open it. Okay, you can stop. It'll be hard to
dun,
Okay,
Dun,
going back to the fairy tale episode. Be careful what you wish for.
Okay.
All right. You couldn't hear me because you guys were all going. Okay. Opening crawl. Second song.
dun, dun.
The Republic Galactica is dead. Ruthless trader barons driven by greed and the lust for power have replaced enlightenment with oppression and rule by the people with the First Galactic Empire. Until the tragic Holy Rebellion of 06, probably 1906, the respected Jedi Bendu of Ashla were the most powerful warriors in the universe. For 100,000 years, generations of Jedi Bendu knights learned the ways of the mysterious force of others and acted as the guardians of peace and justice in the Republic. Now these legendary warriors are all but extinct. One by one, they have been hunted down and destroyed by the ferocious rival sect of mercenary warriors, the Black Knights of Sith. It is a period of civil wars. The Empire is crumbling into lawless barbarism throughout the million worlds of the galaxy, from the celestial equator to the farthest reaches of the Great Rift. 70 small solar systems have united in a common war against the tyranny of the Empire. Under the command of a mighty Jedi warrior known as the Starkiller, the Rebel Alliance has won a crushing victory over the deadly Imperial Starfleet. The Empire knows that one more such defeat will bring 1,000 more solar systems into the rebellion, and Imperial control of the Outlands could be lost forever. So first, damage control, he really slimmed that opening crawl down.
Yeah, definitely moved from the tell and to the show method.
Yep. Okay, so this isn't the script. This is only a synopsis. I thought this was really cool, but you guys seem really bored with it. Okay.
No, that's cool.
It's just because Eeyore was reading it too.
Son of a- I was trying to. Okay.
The only
Okay.
part I'm confused about is he references the Sith in that, the
Yeah.
opening
The
crawl.
Dark Knights of the Sith. Yeah.
Yeah, so the Sith weren't his creation. Like
I'm just-
in the original Star Wars films, like they never mention the Sith. It's always the Dark Jedi, and that's because one of the EU writers brings up the concept of the Sith, and he adopts it from the EU novel.
So this is the second. So I think I read it. There's 4 versions draft. This is the second draft because the original was about Mace Windu or Macy Windy and the Legend of the Wills. Okay.
Okay.
And then this he out of that he pulls this. So maybe he did bring the Sith up, dropped it, and they were in.
Oh, perhaps.
So let me read the synopsis. There's a lot of stuff that he kind of. We'll just as I go on, we'll see where he pulled out, manipulated, changed, and reorganized. Okay. So above the planet Oedipal and its 5 moons, a rebel starfighter fled 3 pursuing Imperial Star Destroyers. One of the Imperial cruisers exploded, but the rebel. This is like in past and present tense. Exploded, but the rebel craft was damaged. Within the damaged rebel ship were 2 droids, 3PO and R2. The smaller droid led its counterpart toward the corridor. A barrage from one of the Star Destroyers blew a hole in the ship, and 3PO was covered in debris. The captain, Deke Starkiller, an Aquilian Ranger and a Jedi, arrived and checked on the hapless robots. He informed his officers to expect a boarding party and that a Sith Knight was with them. Deke sensed him in the Force. So far, pretty same to the original, right?
Yeah, except Star Killer's not on the.
There's no Jedi.
No Jedi,
Yeah.
just Leia. Well, Leia's a
Rebel-
Jedi.
Leia's Force sensitive. She didn't get training. She's not a Jedi.
Okay, I guess they're sort of flipping it because in that original synopsis, the first one you read, it seemed like the rebels were on the winning
That's not
more
the
than
ori-
the Emperor.
That was just the crawl.
That was just the opening crawl.
Okay.
So Deke ordered a group of R2 units into his ship's light pods to seek help from his younger brother, Luke Starkiller. One of those sent was R2, who took 3PO along. Stormtroopers swarmed onto the rebel ship and started attacking the crew. After a firefight, Darth Vader, clad in an armored spacesuit, entered the vessel. He flung objects and fragments of the ship at Deke using the Force, battering the young Ranger. Finally, Vader drained Deke of his life force, and the rebel passed in unconsciousness. Vader believed he had captured the Son of the Suns and averted defeat for the Bogan. Okay, good, yeah.
All right.
What do we think so far?
So
Plot seems kind of weak.
is this the first introduction of the Vader in this synopsis? So he didn't exist before this synopsis?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have the first.
Yeah, so I mean, like the whole plot is, I think, is just going to set it up to make Vader look more like an idiot, because I have saved the day. I have captured this guy. Oh, this droid and a small boy escaped, and they will foil me.
There's a Shyamalan twist at the end of this. You guys are gonna love it.
All right.
Okay. Meanwhile, on Utapau, R2 and 3PO are captured by Jawas and imprisoned inside a sandcrawler. After a prison break, the droids escape and get direction to Lars' homestead from a local. The same local, however, reports the droids to an Imperial spy called a Grey Tusken. Okay, kind of similar.
Ow.
Grey Tusken becomes the Tusken Raiders. I looked it up. Okay, so far, he's kind of pilfered this script to what became New Hope.
Are we going through the whole movie?
No. This is, it's almost done.
Each iteration is more towards
No,
the real iteration.
This is just the second
This is
iteration.
this is the second writing of the film.
This is-
is still.
This
New
is
Hope.
all still the same
This
thing.
is all
Yeah.
New Hope.
Well, each time you stop, I thought you're saying, "Oh, this is just."
No, I was giving your
No,
opinion
it's
on
you
it.
just if you follow along, it's just following New Hope so far.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm almost done. It's not the whole movie. It's just I'm almost done.
I'm confused.
This is what he. This was New Hope before it was New Hope.
Yeah, but I thought that's what that first paragraph is.
That
And
was
then-
that was
and
the
then
was the
crawl.
crawl,
The 45
and then
minutes
the
was
ship
the
where Leia
crawl.
was,
Right.
and then
Okay, we're going through the entire movie.
No,
it's
no.
Just said no.
It's just a synopsis.
Just keep listening and nod your head like everybody else does.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll wake you up when it's over.
the robot R2 and 3PO are on the sandcrawler. They escape. The Tusken is a spy. He's going to tell the Imperials. Okay. At the Lars moisture farm, the droids encountered Big Starkiller and his twin brother Wendy. Also residing there were the Jedi Owen and his wife Beru Lars. The Starkiller brothers' guardian Leia Lars was a 16-year-old cousin of Luke, Biggs and Wendy. When he was given the code word Angel Blue, Luke, who is practicing his laser sword, stops his exercises and introduces himself to the droids as the Skywalker, his Jedi title, though he was still an apprentice. Yeah? So
Way too many
Okay.
Jedis.
Okay.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. This seems like I can see why they cut a lot of it, just because it
there's a
seems like
lot.
There's a lot.
there's a
to
lot
take in.
going on, and like budget would be
Oh my god.
So
pretty hard, I think.
So far, we're kind of liking how what he took out of it.
Given the choice, yeah, I like New Hope better.
All right, okay. R2 projected a hologram from Deke explaining that Luke must take the Kyber crystal, which is under the care of Owen Lars, to Organa Major, where the Empire was attacking the world. The Starkiller, father of all 4 Starkiller brothers, was defending Organa, but they needed the crystal to protect against the Bogan and his minions. Owen believed that Deke would have been taken to the Imperial capital of Alderaan. Though Luke's training was incomplete and his heart was set on becoming an archaeologist, that's weird, he took up the mission. He visited his mother's gravesite that evening and explained to his younger brothers the history of the Jedi and the rise of the Empire. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, alright, so the Kyber crystal, alright, okay.
So, this is a lot of information to throw at somebody in a first movie.
I think that's kind of why he...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he had done this would never have happened.
With the Kyber crystal, Luke and the droids took a land speeder to Mos Eisley. As they made their way there, Luke scoped out a pursuer, the Tusken, with his binoculars. In Mos Eisley... Mos Eisley? Mos.
Mos Eisley.
Mos Def.
Mos Eisley Spaceport.
In Mos Def, Luke made contact with Han Solo, a young space pirate. Solo came to his aid when a fight breaks out in the Mos Def cantina. Though Luke's laser sword was more effective than Solo's laser pistol, in exchange for 1,000,000 credits on delivery, Solo would get Luke to Organa Major. As it transpired, Solo was deeply in debts to Oxus, the captain of a TDF-104 dock there. Oxus later became Jabba the Hutt.
Huh.
And TDF-104 became the Millennium Falcon.
Huh.
Okay, all right.
Boy, it's a shame because TDI-FO4 really rolled off the tongue.
TGIF 8:30
I love-
PM
I
Boy
love-
Meets World.
There.
Okay. Continuing. Faking a reactor malfunction, Solo hijacked Oxus's ship. Only 3 crew members stayed with him. Montross Haldak, the science officer, a cyborg, and Chewie the Wookiee. The ship blasted off from Mos Def and headed into a hyperskip to Organa Major. So they changed hyperskip into, what do they call it in Star Wars?
Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive? Is that what they call it?
Hyperspace.
Okay. But their destination was no more. Organa Major had been destroyed by the Empire. How was yet a mystery. Luke directed Han to pilot the ship to Alderaan in hopes of rescuing Deke. The ship docked on the floating city, and Luke and Han stole Stormtrooper armor as a disguise. Chewbacca would be their prisoner. They found Deke now dying from his torture and carried him off, escaping both the garrison and the strange Dainaga creatures. As they blasted out of the Imperial capital, 4 TIE LN starfighters followed them. Luke used a kyber crystal to keep Deke alive. So he really pilfered that part for New Hope. Deke is, I guess Deke's kind of standing in for Leia at that point.
Right, yeah.
I said you weren't reading the whole movie.
It's no,
This is
no. I wasn't
synopsis of
reading
the
the
movie.
script. I really dug this. I thought you guys would be more into this.
No, this is
I still like it. I like New Hope better.
All right.
Yeah, like it's interesting. Like it's what I think is interesting is how they reuse the names. So like the Organa Prime planet. I mean that's Leia's last name, and then Alderaan is the Imperial capital. Apparently,
Biggs
like,
Starkiller. He's a.
That's interesting.
Biggs turns out to be a rebel pilot.
Yeah, he's in the Red Squadron.
Okay. All right. As they arrived at their destination, the moon Yavin 4, set on the secret rebel base, they found that an immense space station had tracked and followed them. Ejecting from the pirate ship, the heroes landed on Yavin in life pods. On Yavin in a Masasi outpost where...
Wait a minute. Why did they eject from the space pirate ship?
Because Han wanted to stay on there. He didn't want to go down.
So he's just like, we're flying over the planet. See ya, guys. Jump out the back.
Yeah, they really like life pods in this script. There's a lot of life pods. So where they're debriefed, General Dodonna, who I looked up, he's actually in Star Wars as a different character, I think. General Dodonna explained the dangers and weaknesses of the Death Star. Almost done, guys. Miraculously, the Star Killer, Luke's father, survived the destruction of Organa Major. With the crystal, the ancient Jedi is revived. He explained that Luke would complete his training with him. Luke joined the strike force assembled to attack the Death Star, but despite a payment of 8 million credits, Han declined to help. With Bail Antilles, R2, and 3PO in the crystal, Luke flew his fire towards the space station. Other rebel pilots targeted the station's poles. Darth Vader, however, sensed the crystal and pursued Luke with his personal starfighter. He was about to destroy Luke and his crew, but unexpectedly Han, Montrose, and Chewbacca attacked him, saving the young Jedi. Vader piloted his ship into the pirate's craft, dying, but seriously damaging the larger vessel. Twist: Vader died. Luke was able to maneuver the rebel ship into position, and Antilles and 3PO fired the turrets into the exhaust port. The Death Star exploded, and as Luke's ships flew past a life pod from the pirate ship, Han and his crewmates had survived. The Empire had suffered a serious defeat.
Okay.
Interesting, but
Yeah.
I'm still glad we got New Hope.
Yeah, like I think those would be some cool sequences if you did them, but maybe with an additional movie, like I kind of want to see the Falcon get destroyed. I'm not gonna lie.
What?
Like that would be kind of sweet to see the Falcon get destroyed and escape
What?
pods and stuff.
No.
So they kind of kept Vader getting shot.
Overused.
They kind of kept Vader getting killed
It's
in
sexy.
in the fight.
But they left it open, like
Right, he
in case
spins
they
up.
actually got to make the second movie, he wasn't gone.
He spins it. Now, the Star Killer, Luke's father, is he kind of, does he turn, he probably morphs into Obi-Wan, right?
Probably.
Okay. All right. Bail Antilles, he's a rebel pilot.
Wedge Antilles.
Wedge Antilles, okay. So other than that, it's kind of.
Bail was Bail Organa, right? That was Leia's like stepdad.
yeah,
or
look
Well,
at
that's the name.
Yeah.
But he-
so he
doesn't he-
reused the name, I think.
Yeah, because doesn't he gets killed on Alderaan?
Which
Yeah.
this makes me really curious. So we've got Wedge Antilles, then we've got Biggs, whatever his name is. So if you're a gamer nerd, Wedge and Biggs are two characters that are consistent through the Final Fantasy universe. Starting in Final Fantasy II, Wedge and Biggs show up in every single Final Fantasy game.
So the Star Wars characters, or this?
Just the names.
Oh, okay.
They're always different characters in every Final Fantasy game. What makes me really wonder is that it can't be coincidence, and I'm curious if like George Lucas was talking to someone in Nintendo and got those names, or if Nintendo was using those names as a reference and a nod to Star Wars.
Typically, a lot of the time, those things are just going to be nods, and that's just going to come depending on where the game is released, like what year, what time period. It's either going to be from the Nintendo of America localization team, just kind of like throwing names in as kind of like a tongue-in-cheek thing. Usually, that's where they're going to go because like the later games didn't do that as much as the older ones did.
Every Final Fantasy had Biggs and Wedge in it.
Not all of them.
Yeah, every single one of them did.
Who were they at 9?
They were 2 of the guards in the Queen's Castle. Or no, they were part of Zidane's crew.
10.5.
No, I don't think so.
20 love. So anyway, while he looks it up, what do we think? I mean, I thought that was kind of cool. We actually
they might have been like gate guards or something, but I don't think they were part of the crew.
They the Kyber crystal thing was pretty fascinating. They made it. He wanted it, I guess, to be like some sort of ancient Jedi artifact, but I guess that got too heavy, so he got rid of that completely. But I like how they brought. Yeah, but I like how they brought back the Kyber crystal, and it's now mainstream.
I thought it was kind of cool because this is kind of what we do with damage control. It's like he damage controlled his script, and he kind of like just he took all the info, like you said, just a ton, like just a load of information on someone, and he just like
I think that would have
that movie was going to be
named after the Star Wars characters.
I think that would have ruined it if they would have left it in like that. Like I would love to see a Star Wars movie where they explain, the whole, like in detail, the Kyber crystals and all that stuff. But I think to throw it in that, it would just.
Plus, it eliminates the amount of Jedis, which I liked, where the Jedi was more of a mysterious.
Which I hate to agree with you, but I do too.
And then the whole switching, they're going to save the father from the base. They switch it to Leia, so it's more of a
No, they're saving Deke. Deke was one of the cousins. No, Deke was a brother. The father was on the planet that exploded that somehow survived.
Right, making him almost godlike, I guess.
Yeah.
The worst part was when they blew up the Falcon.
The pirate? No, it wasn't the Falcon at that point. You know what wouldn't have blown up? The Outrider. So anyway, okay, closing crawl. Cody, drop a beat. Okay. All right, so the closing crawl. And 1,000 new systems joined the rebellion, causing a significant crack in the Great Wall of the powerful galactic empire.
Closing crawl?
This is a closing crawl.
There's a closing crawl now?
In this one? The Star Killer would once again spark fear in the hearts of the Sith Knight, but not before his sons were put to many tests, the most daring of which was the kidnapping of Lars' family and the perilous search for the Princess of Ondos. Kind of Star Wars will return in the Princess of Ondos.
Okay, so they sort of had
And Chewie still didn't get a medal.
Yeah. Probably fucking not.
Okay, so I need to apologize, Snyder. Final Fantasy IX is the only Final Fantasy besides number 1 that they don't appear in.
1 is in that game. They are some of the automatic names the player can choose for the thief job.
Okay.
But they're in 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 10, and then 13, 14, and 15.
They're also in 10, 2, and Tactics.
Well, 10 part of that thing. I don't know about Tactics. I haven't played those.
They're in Tactics.
Okay.
Whoosh.
I know what they're talking about a little bit, the exact detail, but
so Cody's kind of like
so diplomatic. He's like the diplomat.
Well, no, like his Final Fantasy has a lot of elements. Like there's always
always references and little like tongue-in-cheek pop culture references to different things. Like one of the early Final Fantasy games, you go to a graveyard area and there's like a tombstone and it says like "Here lies Link," like from the Zelda series. Like they'll throw in different little things like that.
And they have their
Link's the main character
of Zelda.
in the Zelda.
The princess, right?
I'm gonna punch you right in your
okay. Anyway, so what do we think? Getting back to Star Wars, what do we think?
I like the idea behind it. I like how they changed the person they rescue into a female, so it gives it that damsel in distress feel instead. And then actually flipping that on its head in the original, like, yeah, she's a badass, fucking right there by the guy's shoe.
First of all, it's the Ridge Tridge.
Ridge Tridge.
And I'd please have you respect that.
Or you could just speak English.
I was doing well before that, so take it back.
Taking it back.
I don't.
He went from diplomatic to "you're my bitch."
I have one person.
It seems like they made the Jedi like the Star Killers like the Jedi God, and to me, the Jedi are supposed to be like yes, you have Jedi who are more powerful, but it's like round table, like everyone's equal.
They're diplomatic.
Yeah. Instead of, this is Star Killer, you do what he says, or he kills a star.
No, he's a nice guy. His name's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy.
He's a real, like, they have like a really wimpy kid, can't hold a lightsaber. He's like,
Okay. So anyway, I thought that would
Your
be
Schwartz is bigger than mine.
I ran across
That's the best Star Wars movie right there.
I ran across that. I thought that'd be cool.
I am your uncle's
fell on
brother's
deaf ears,
father's.
most deaf ears with you guys. Okay, so final thoughts on Star Wars. Just overall, we might do later on down the line. We may do a series of Star Wars podcasts about a certain lore or whatever. But overall, any final closing thoughts?
Overall final feelings about Star Wars? You ready?
overall
You ready?
Final Fantasy feelings.
Overall Final Fantasy, or you just mother. Overall Final Star Wars feelings.
Yes.
Meh.
Meh?
I like Jedis and lightsabers. I don't care about any of the other stuff at all. I think the acting was terrible in the original trilogy that came out. The prequels
what's
were
the original
bad.
trilogy?
The original trilogy.
The Ridge Tridge?
The original trilogy.
Ridge
Okay.
Tridge.
The prequels were terrible. I liked Rogue One.
Which one?
Oh, God.
The Rogue One.
Force Awakens was fun.
Hands.
8 was okay. Most of them I didn't really like too much. Like, Empire's still my favorite one, but Mark Hamill was not good in any of those movies.
I like the Hoth
He became
scene
much
in
better.
Empire. Other than that,
Or he cuts the thing open?
no, the AT-ATs.
Oh, with the, okay.
That's really the only thing I like from the Ridge Tridge. I really don't like those movies. That's why I'm saying
the
I don't,
bikini.
No, like I don't really like those movies.
Gay.
I like more of the
Gay.
other stuff.
I like the bikini.
Yeah,
I was
And
into
then,
that.
I don't know about you guys, but Star Wars was probably the first introduction to science fiction for me as growing up as a child. I remember going to see it with my mom and my uncle in
No,
theaters.
my mom read Wells's 1984 to me every night.
Explains a lot, actually.
No,
But
I'm full of jokes tonight, man.
Too
Is
bad they're
that
not
what
good.
Are they jokes if you're just saying things, even if they're
like
not
it was
funny?
my first introduction to a galaxy far, far away a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It was that sort of inspiration, like got the brain ticking, about what maybe could be possible out there.
Okay.
I can agree with that. While not my first foray into science fiction, that was Star Trek for me. Hey now.
As we're sitting in his comic book shop.
Star Wars was, when I remember watching it the first time when Dad pulled out the old VHS of it, and have you ever seen this? And no, and put it in, and I remember just being fascinated and mesmerized by it.
Was it the one where George Lucas talks about it right before it starts?
No. This one, the very first version I saw was one that he and Mom had taped off of USA, so it had like it wasn't the entire movie, and then it even had like one of those things where it was supposed to be like shown on 2 different days. So our tape, when they're going into the Death Star, was like, and find out what happens tomorrow with Luke and Chewie and Han Solo and the death-defying Death Star. And then they had edited it with that old stop, press stop, and it just like it did that and then kept rolling. And so like it was like, why do I have to come in tomorrow? Why is this narrator here?
Did your dad cut the commercials out, or did he leave them in?
He cut the commercials out the best he could.
Yeah, our dad did that, and it was really cool. I mean, you watch a Blu-ray now and it sucks, but it had like right. He cut it out, and it always had the warp of the audio track, and the picture, the y-axis hadn't come in yet, so it was kind of like jerked, and then the audio would warp real quick, and then it would come. I mean, I always liked that as a kid. I mean, it's shit video, but
Yeah, it's a very nostalgic feeling.
yeah.
Well, damn it, if our dad and his dad would be better with editing,
Yeah.
wouldn't have had those damn
You ruined my
problems.
childhood, Dad.
Well, your dad being bad with editing kind of makes sense with you then, so.
Snyder, I did not miss you.
The complete lack of
I cannot express that enough.
It's genetic!
Like the mini chlorians.
Right.
I have too many. It keeps my
Then wash your hands.
it keeps my
Jeez.
chlamydia at bay.
That's
That's
why he's got to
why-
wear 2 shirts. He's got to keep them all
He's
in.
got a whole little.
That's
Yeah.
why that happens. They try and move stuff and just trying to get away from you.
Anyways, So, closing thoughts for the post-podcast trivia?
I dig Star Wars. If you haven't seen Star Wars, watch it, and don't think too hard.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever make a Yoda-centric movie?
No, because you're not supposed to know anything about him.
That's what makes it mysterious.
Yeah, again, like
But don't they have? I'm sure they have comics somewhere
don't
about the
think
origins
so.
of Yoda.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe Dark Horse has, but so far they haven't really touched on it. The most they've ever done is say that there's another Yoda in the Knights of the Old Republic era, and that wasn't his name. It was just the same race.
Actually, what it is it's Yoda and Darth Vader, and they're like, Darth Vader's bending down on his knees, and he's got his hand on his shoulders, and they're both laughing really hard. And Yoda's like, well, if I'm to have a past, I like it to be multiple choice. And then Vader snaps his neck. Okay.
Star Wars is philosophy for children.
Oh god, that's so great.
Oh,
That you just killing joked Star Wars.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
oh damn!
All right.
We know it's really.
Oh.
What did you say earlier in the podcast? You know, if Adam's saying it, then it's probably crap.
I liked it. I'm not touching you. I don't want you to get all excited and pop a mini choke nobody can see.
Okay, post-pod... I just redlined that. How did I get a 5?
Because I was hilarious.
Daniel, help me out. All right.
Hands. I'm not touching.
Oh, Cody thought about it. Cody thought
Tried
about it.
real
Good
hard.
job.
Okay.
I know Cody's like scared. He's like,
Post-pod trivia.
When this goes up, we're going to have to put like Star Wars, parentheses, the high five episode.
No, it's the most deaf Cantina episode.
most deaf high five.
No, what was I saying earlier? The Rogue One. It's the Rogue One.
Which one?
Where you try to say Rouge?
The Rogue One.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Much like post-pod.
Well, here's a question. Is the Empire ever explicitly stated that they're bad?
No, like
with
Daniel.
the murder?
Like
No,
Daniel.
And the indoctrination of children?
No, like
like
Daniel
government
always says.
don't do that.
Slaying of youngins.
Like
That
Daniel,
was one guy.
Like Daniel always says, the bad guys are the heroes in their own story.
No.
Always.
No, actually not. Stormtroopers were killing Jedis too. They was outside the temple, and anybody that tried to run, they got shot.
Order 66. That was my wrestling move.
They were clone troopers, but yes.
But, sorry, my apologies. I did not mean to step
Get
on
out of here.
cannon line.
Get out of here.
I'm not going to
Okay.
leave at your command.
All right.
None shall command me.
Get out of here.
What
Wait,
was
is that what they
that?
did? Is that what they
That was the
did?
worst
No, it's
Jedi
like-
mind trick. It's
Oh,
No,
shit.
it's like
that was
he
the
tried.
worst
It is
Jedi
literally
mind.
wax off. I
Oh,
don't.
shit.
It's like he tried to crush, but like changed it halfway through. Like, no, get out of here.
At
Yeah, I
least
was
he didn't
trying
try
to
to
do
do
a
like the
I was trying to do a
Vulcan
Vader.
nerve pinch.
Be careful you don't choke on your aspirations, Cody.
No, what? No. I want to say something. Okay, he does the choke and it looks dramatic, but I think he would have been much cooler if he just did the pinch and the brain artery. Just pinch and then they're dead because give them an aneurysm.
But I think Vader gets off on torturing though.
Well, the thing too is like just going and watching somebody fall down isn't as compelling or cinematic of a view as a guy going like this.
What if he
and
went-
seeing a guy
I think
across
that's
the room like
What if he did this,
it builds up the.
and then half the universe?
And Thanos is like, "That's my bit, douchebag."
Josh Brolin's like, "Fuck you."
Oh, have you guys? Dan, you showed me that video. It was all the heroes in modern cinema fighting to the death, and Deadpool wins. And
Oh,
goes,
I didn't see the Deadpool one. I saw Harley Quinn win.
Yeah,
Oh, that's your
You know
favorite
what I'm talking
character.
about, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
all the archers
great
are shooting
character.
each
I know.
other.
yeah,
Wonderfully
yeah.
Well, they did the villain
So,
version of
muting your
that.
mic.
Nice.
Yes, and
Hey, that's my mic too.
then Thanos is
It's
just
mine,
funny
it's
as hell.
mine, too.
Look what I can do with one glove, and then he like moonwalks past. Okay. Any
See, now
Sorry,
that
sorry.
was funny. I'll
post.
give you
I didn't come up with it. Post pod trivia.
that's
That's
why.
why it was funny. Yeah.
Motherfucker. All right, here we go.
All right.
Much like us using BCE and AD for historical time, how do the characters in Star Wars keep track of time?
that. After major battles.
Yeah. It's like the
BBY.
before the Battle of Yavin, after
Yeah.
the Battle of
Yep.
Yavin.
Okay. How many men did it take to portray Darth Vader in the Tridge?
Trace.
3.
Yep. David Prowse wore the suit. James Earl Jones did the
Did the
voice.
voice.
Sebastian Saul was the Eggman.
Oh well, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to say 4,
What?
because they added Hayden Christensen.
I said the original
That's
Tridge.
still.
I said
that's
the
still
original
the original trilogy.
I mean, Hayden Christensen's in the end of the Ridge Tridge.
No. The
That
original-
is
the Jedi.
that is.
He's
the
there.
ori-
The Ghost
No,
Vader
the
is
The
there.
original.
No.
Shut up.
The
Listen.
OG Tridge.
Shut up and listen.
No, now you're adding extra
The-
specifications.
The
It don't
original
matter.
trilogy is those 3 sets of movies, no matter what format they're in.
That's untrue.
Even if you include the
That's
version
untrue.
where Obi-Wan scares off the Tusken Raiders, where he sounds like he's getting a horrible blowjob, that is still the original trilogy.
Wait, what?
Untrue.
In one of the versions, like the newest version, like there's the scene where Obi-Wan scares off the Tusken Raiders, and he's like he sounds like Chewbacca, like shoved into a blender.
That's actually how they got they put Peter Mayhew's hand.
He's still gigantic.
No, like look, okay, say you take a chair, and
And then we hit Adam over the back. with it.
then you laser print it, or
3D print?
3D print it, and then you set the 3D printed chair next to it. That's the Ridge chair. That one isn't. Hayden Christian isn't in the Ridge Tridge.
No, Hayden Christian is not, but Hayden Christensen
Nope.
is.
What movies constitute the original trilogy?
The 78, 70, the
Don't look at me like I have the answer. I thought it was
the
79.
79, whatever.
Nope.
No, because because
76 maybe?
no, because Topher Grace falls in
Exactly.
love
75.
with Star Wars. Is that when it was?
I don't know.
Instead, he wasn't in the show in '79, so it had to be. I think it's like
Yeah,
'77.
he was. He
78.
was in the final episode,
So,
which was in '79.
what constitutes
No, it
what
doesn't
constitutes
matter.
as the original
You
Tridge
lost.
is the '77 New Hope, the whatever '79 Empire Strikes Back.
You're
and
trying to make a
1977.
case based on facts, but you don't have all the facts.
It
I do
doesn't-
have all the facts.
Oh, the semantics
Okay,
don't matter.
if
Okay,
Cody,
stop.
Cody
If Luke Skywalker's black glove does not fit, you must listen to what I said. It's the
It
seven.
fits, so we don't have to
this
listen.
is Chewbacca, and that don't make no sense.
Why
Okay.
would he be on Andor of all them dang?
Okay. Anyway, what is the most expensive Star Wars action figure? Not vehicle, not playset, action figure. I'm not adding.
Boba
like
Fett prototype
MSRP?
edition.
Nope.
MSRP?
MSRP.
Or secondary market?
I knew I wasn't gonna get one. I
It's
don't.
going to be secondary.
Sure,
market.
secondary market.
Luke Skywalker with the wrong colored lightsaber.
Nope.
Darth Vader with the wrong colored lightsaber.
I'm pretty sure I'm correct with the prototype version of Boba Fett.
It's expensive, but that's not it.
Jar Jar Binks.
No, a 1977 Jawa with the original vinyl cape, not the cloth, for $18,000.
Shit, I bought that last week.
Boba Fett, the prototype, the all-white prototype Boba Fett is up there, but it's not.
No, I'm talking about the prototype that has the launching missile.
Oh no, that's not. That wasn't in it. Okay.
It wasn't on Wikipedia.
That got scrapped because at that time there was a health scare because the kid swallowed one of the missiles and died.
Okay.
Damn kids. bro.
Jar Jar's Big Adventure or Jar Jar's Great Adventure was the cover title for which flick?
Phantom Menace?
Nope.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. They called it that because it was after the backlash of Jar Jar, so the production crew named it that movie as like a running joke. All right, moving on. What horror movie?
Pause. The fact that they called that behind the scenes, they called that Jar Jar's Big Adventure, just shows you that it's actually been about Jar Jar the entire time.
Oh, fuck. Now, how come he can argue his point and y'all are like, yeah, that makes sense? But when I'm
He's
talking about
Snyder.
the original
He's pretty.
Tridge,
He's pretty.
Because
And I don't say a Ridge
beca-
Tridge.
Well,
That's why.
Ridge Tridge is fine.
Ugh.
It's because Snyder makes like pointed arguments, and you argue semantics.
That Snyder's scary.
pointed arguments, I'm like dull. They're almost points. It's like a knife that's been used too
It's a
much.
semantic argument.
Yeah, the best kind of argument. I'm an American.
See?
Okay. What,
That's why.
What horror movie icon is somewhat responsible for Mark Hamill becoming
Freddy
Ridley
Krueger.
Scott?
Robert
Because-
Englund.
Because
Because he told Mark Hamill that he should audition for Luke Skywalker.
England and Hamill were roommates. England received the script. He was going to audition. England was already had success at V and said, Hamill, take it and audition for it.
Thank you, Fat Man on Batman.
What famous actor was warned by his uncle that Star Wars will ruin your life when he told his uncle he was auditioning for a role? What famous actor was warned by his uncle that Star Wars will
Harrison Ford.
Nope.
No, Samuel L. Jackson.
Nope.
Give it a hint.
It's British, dude. Is he Maybe he's Scottish.
Oh fuck no.
Maybe
Is
he's
it Peter
Scottish.
O'Toole?
No, he's not in the Ridge Tridge. His uncle was in the Ridge Tridge.
Was the actor that played
Ewan McGregor.
Old Ben?
Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor is Obi-Wan. His uncle is
That's what I just
Wedge
said.
Antilles.
His uncle is Wedge Antilles. He said, Star Wars will ruin your life. Do not do it. Apparently, Dennis Lawson hates Star Wars. And the fans and everything with it. Okay, we're going to play a game.
Real quick, I got a thing. So why I know that answer wasn't Han Solo. Harrison Ford was not auditioning for the movie ever. He was just like a clerk that worked with George Lucas, and he was doing stand-ins for.
He was a carpenter.
Okay, carpenter for George Lucas, and he was.
Semantics. Nailed it.
I fucking hate you.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
All right, Cody. From now on, you sit between them.
I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get between this
Definitely
great
can get between
steaming
our
pile of
love.
You will sit between them.
And we're hashtag romance.
Why do you look like you're fondling his boob?
Well, I felt something there. I'm a little nervous now.
It's either that or you're like turning like an old timey radio dial.
No, I'm like opening a safe.
I don't own a
Sorry.
safe. I don't understand what you're saying.
No, okay.
Okay, so anyway, he was a stand-in. He was reading the part of Han Solo for other actors for their read-ins and for their auditions. And eventually, when they got to the part of auditioning for Han Solo, they didn't like anyone because at that point Harrison Ford had read the lines so much they're just like, you need to be Han Solo. So he
Well-
never officially auditioned for it.
Plus, why would his uncle say Star Wars is going to ruin your life before Star Wars was a thing?
Because he was a carpenter and they didn't want him to go into acting. They wanted a more stable career for him.
Counterpoint.
Did I BS my way through that?
Yes,
Was that
you
good?
did. Yes, you did.
A
I kind of believed you for a second.
A counterpoint to that, or not a counterpoint, an addition, an addendum to that is when Lucas was auditioning for the original, he didn't audition roles, he would audition groups because he wanted people to have chemistry. So,
Interesting.
okay, I'm going to play a game. Am I describing a character, place, or thing from Star Wars or a porn star / pornographic act? Okay? All right.
Okay.
J. Chris Tubbs.
Star Wars.
I thought you were describing something.
He's an X-Wing pilot.
It's not really a description. You're naming something, but okay.
Semantics! Biggs?
America!
Biggs Darklighter.
Star Wars.
That's Star Wars.
X-Wing pilot. Seth Gamble.
That's porn.
Yes, he played Luke in the Triple X parody.
How
Cleo.
do you know so much about Triple X parody?
Why don't you
No,
not
don't.
worry about it, Cody?
I got a lot of free time, alright?
How do you think
I
it's
gotta
com-
butter my corn on the cob over here.
We still need to hear that story.
You will.
After the
After the
podcast.
podcast.
Okay. Cleo Valentine.
Porn.
She was the Twinks?
Twi'lek.
Twi'leks? In,
Twink.
sorry. Different porn thing.
That's the kind Adam watches. That's why
and-
it's on his mind.
In Triple X,
Not bad.
in Triple X Force Rises, she
Yep.
played the red one. Okay. Ball knob.
Star Wars.
Yep, a primitive planet in Star Wars. Balkuzi.
Oh, we're 12 over here.
Balkuzi.
Something you put your balls in.
No, don't describe it.
I'm going to
Don't
go with
please-
Star Wars.
No, it's a porn act I'm not describing. Munging.
Munging.
Yep.
Star Wars.
It's a porn act that I'm not describing. And the final one. Jizz.
That sounds like a trick question.
That's not like a trick question.
Jizz.
It's both.
What you find
It
in
is
Amazon.
both.
No.
Yes, it is both. Jizz is what we know it as. And also, it's actually...
Thank you for describing that to a room
It's-
full of men.
It's actually the genre of music that the Cantina band in the Most Def Cantina plays.
No wonder we can't get a woman guest on our podcast.
That
Okay.
surprised me, Annie.
So, Balkuzi, anyone? After the
No,
podcast?
no.
Okay.
I
All
can close
right.
my eyes.
After you told me what a blue waffle is, I don't ever want to.
All right.
Oh,
So,
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna hyper skid this news. Any more?
I have an interesting tidbit.
Go ahead.
It's not
During
about
the
Balkuzi, is it?
no,
Okay.
no, thank God, no. During the filming of Revenge of the Empire, where they're doing the scene, Luke, I am your father. Nobody actually knew the actors knew that was actually a real scene until the movie actually hit theaters after the
Do you know
editing.
that's not actually what he said?
What?
That's not what's in the
The
movie.
actual line is "No, I am your father."
Yeah.
Right.
But they also didn't use that during those lines during
Semantics.
shooting.
Well, no, they did because they
they
do a
didn't.
couple of fake stuff so we get the right.
They didn't
screen.
use that line during
It
shooting
was-
at all. It was
it
dubbed
wa-
in afterwards. They
yeah.
didn't want anybody to know because they didn't want the secret to get out.
It was Obi-Wan killed your father.
That was the line they used during shooting.
God damn it! I hate second sources. I thought I had an interesting fact there.
You should use my sources. They're usually right.
No.
No.
Supernatural Wiki.
Okay.
No, we have the new one, the Wikipedia.
Is that not the official Star Wars one?
No, that's fantastic. I love the Wikipedia.
Yeah. All right on.
No, stop. Hands.
One
Okay.
time they're gonna do it, and it's just gonna stick together. With the,
Oh my God.
No, that
they're
usually happens
accusing-
after the
Because
podcast.
of all the jizz music they're
yeah,
playing.
yeah.
So, okay. The news. News. Not that this comes as anyone's surprise. Deadpool breaks Thursday's R-rated opening breaks opening
The opening day
Semantics!
record for an R-rated movie.
for an R-rated movie.
Okay.
Does that
Awesome.
surprise? Does that surprise anyone?
No.
Yeah.
It
No.
seems like whatever, unless it's DC, it seems like whatever superhero movie comes out, it breaks records.
I'm going to say false on that. I'm saying the promotional behind this movie is almost as good as Infinity War.
Oh, absolutely.
Ryan Reynolds has gone around the world promoting this movie.
I am so sick of Ryan Reynolds' propaganda that goes on this podcast.
Have you guys seen the Deadpool photo bombing things that Fox did?
Yeah.
Those were fantastic.
Like
All the marketing for both of these movies has been fantastic.
No, but I'm just saying, and he basically fourth wall breaks it. Like if you come out a month after Infinity War, you got to double down on everything, and that's what he's been doing. He's done double the promotional items of that he did on the first Deadpool movie. He got Celine Dion to do a music video for Deadpool 2. That level of commitment.
I'd be more impressed if he got Selena. Oh,
Wow.
too dark. Okay, I see where the line is with you guys.
Wow.
All right.
And of course, he has to bring up the non-white person. Be like,
Celine
hey,
Dion isn't. She's Canadian.
she's still white.
Nah, Canadians are different. Okay.
Wow.
Also,
Wow.
He's living in like a South Park world.
They're the nicest people on the planet, eh?
Somebody stamp his fucking Republican card. Jesus.
I have never voted, and I never will. Also, Deadpool breaks Friday opening night records. Finally taking over the box office from Infinity War, raking in $133 million.
Nice.
Okay.
He says.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it yet.
I bring this in for Daniel.
You haven't seen it yet? Okay, glad.
I'm bringing this in for Daniel. Thundercats Roar is a animated series coming to WB Animation. It looks really close to Teen Titans. Oh no, it's the Steven Universe type.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the art style.
I thought it looked cool.
I'm glad that Thundercats is getting some love, so maybe we'll get a live action Thundercats that isn't done by Michael Bay. And but
Wait, he was going to do Thundercats?
no, I have no idea. I'm tired of him
knows he-
ruining my children.
Real quick, who would you
Childhood.
cast as Lino? Tom Holland? Tom Cruise?
Stop! Stop!
That's a callback.
Tom Selleck, go.
Oh my god!
No, no.
Tom Selleck.
We don't have time for this.
What about that? What about that old man lion that Lino sees? Tom Selleck would be perfect for that.
Only if he gets to keep the stash.
Yeah.
He's got a
You gotta have that.
We
Selleck
won't
stash.
cast the whole crew. I just want to know who you want to do.
Yeah,
for
like Lano's a really tough one. I would want a no name. I know this is a cop out. We always say it's a cop out, but I want someone no name
Named Tom.
coming up.
Tom Holland's brother, Tom Jr.
Someone like Hayden Christensen, but can act.
Yeah, but an actor.
We talking about Jumper was amazing.
Mannequin Skywalker.
Jumper was a good movie.
Yeah. Or that
Not
one
because of
where
his acting.
No, but at the same time, though, when you compare what he did with Star Wars to what Hamill did with Star Wars, they were pretty much on par in acting
it was
ability.
Anakin and Mace Windu.
I don't like sand. It's coarse.
Gets everywhere.
Yeah, they were both pretty bad.
So does Jizz.
Okay.
Your jizz is coarse. There's a problem.
Well, not at first.
I'm turning your mic down. That is it. Did anyone see the trailers for Happy Time Murders and Black Klansman?
Happy Time Murderers. Oh
That
my
looks
god.
good. Yeah.
That looks like it's gonna be funny. I know it's probably childish, but it's Muppets meets Law and Order.
Okay, I'm in for that. Actually,
I'm into
That
that,
sounds-
yeah.
It's
okay.
basically it's what the Muppets do. It's like, okay, so they clock into Sesame Street, everything's child and G-rated. Then they clock out and they go home. It's what happens. You know, it's like an R-rated version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit or Cool World.
I am
I'm in.
so
Cool.
into that.
Yeah.
And Melissa
I would
McCarthy
give- I'd see
is
Cool World.
playing the female lead, and
Kinda
the
over
male
her.
lead is a
I will agree
private
with you.
detective.
I wish there was another person to lead, but yeah,
Yeah.
it looks pretty good.
It's like I'm kind of her and Rebel Wilson, like me.
And then I
yeah.
guess
I
the
forgot
basic
about
plot is
werewolves.
somebody's going on a puppet murdering spree,
Yeah.
and so you're just seeing parts of puppets all over damn place. And I think the ending scene is actually just two puppets doing it, and he's jizzing
No,
all
in,
over
in
the
the
room
in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
with like silly.
So I was like,
stuff.
Cody, don't
No,
go
he
ruin
put
it.
he
before
put the
you-
Cantina band on record and played it. That's what that was.
Yes.
That's what the
happened.
jizzing was. Yes.
Yeah, like I was
That
so
jizz
into that
music.
movie until you said Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, see, I'm with both of you.
Like she's talented. She's great. I'm just tired of seeing her all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
everywhere.
she's just like
Diesel?
Zach Galifianakis.
Tom Holland.
Like
yeah.
he just plays the same,
It's the same thing
idiot
over and
character in every
Are
comedy.
you
Or
just
like
saying Tom name?
oh, what is that? What was his name?
Hangover?
John C. Riley.
Yeah.
Yeah, like him and
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. I hate Will Ferrell, and the only thing John C. Riley has done well is Chicago.
The last few movies that all of those people have done, and
Oh.
like Adam Sandler included, it's just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
It's sequelitis. Like
I'm not a fan of Sandler, but at least he has different characters.
early on, things were kind of samey but still funny early on, and then as it progressed, he did some different stuff. But now, like the stuff he's doing now, like with his Netflix movies and stuff like that, it's just the same thing. Over
Yeah,
and
I don't
over
think I've
again.
seen anything
Watch him
from
in
Adam
Reign Over
Sandler
Me.
since Funny People. So
I
like
sad.
that movie.
Yeah,
That
I like
movie
his,
was good.
I like his serious stuff anymore. I don't
Reign
really-
Over Me was a really good
Sandy
movie.
Wexler wasn't really all that funny. Ridiculous Six had a couple laugh out loud parts, but not really funny. Okay, what about the Black Klansman?
I saw that too.
Adam probably
I'm not
hasn't seen it.
sure with that. I think
No,
that's
I've
more
seen
of
it. It
like
looks really good.
laugh at the stupid white people.
No, it was based on a true story.
It's okay. Whenever time I hear this based on a true story, I get skeptical.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you that most of it will there's probably only going to be about that much based on a true story, but it's by Spike Lee. I like Spike Lee. It's got Topher Grace as the leader of the Ku Klux
That's
Klan,
what I mean. Like
which
laugh,
I'm pretty,
laugh at the stupid white person.
which I'm pretty interested in. It's got to the podcast. It's got Kylo Ren in it.
Yes.
No, Adam Driver. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so yeah,
You should know his name.
and I think it has why?
He's Prince Adam Driver.
Never heard of it.
Prince Kylo Ren.
And it's got Denzel Washington's son as the lead.
George?
No, that's his stepson.
You know,
How is that funny? My Rogue One joke isn't.
Well,
Which one?
you tried to do it 5
The Rogue
times.
One.
Wow. Yes.
So done.
Won't beat semantics.
Okay. Okay. Snyder, you weren't here because you got more important stuff to do. But last week on our Grimm's Fairy Tales one, we were talking about Once Upon a Time, and I said, Daniel, is it still on the air? And Daniel very confidently said and pointed at my finger and said, "You're an idiot, Adam. It is on the air." But you know what? Friday was the series finale.
Okay.
So when you asked,
So
about
when you
this-
asked, it was still on
Semantics!
air. Because they had one episode left. Yes, semantics.
semantics wins
Uh,
this time.
Anyway, so the series ended last Friday. It drew 2.3 million viewers with a rating of 0.5. Is that good or bad?
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I know it sounds bad, but is like one good though?
No,
I
no,
doubt
like,
it.
like.
Depending on where the
Okay,
rating's
so-
coming from.
Yeah.
Where's the rating coming from?
It was a viewer rate. I don't know. I don't know how the viewers rated.
If it's like
Okay, so it's a
0.4 to
Niels
0.5.
racing or Niels.
Neil's racing.
No, Niels.
Better go,
Wilson.
better go
Wilson,
catch
Wilson,
him.
yeah,
better
that-
go catch him.
Yeah. So anyway, so I did this when I was doing some advertising on television before,
Okay.
and like if I remember correctly, the things that were really, really expensive that I was looking at adding on, like Flash and Arrow, had ratings of like 8 to 13.
Holy
and
crap,
those
so-
were huge.
So 0.5 is like
yeah, that
Batman v Superman levels.
that is, it's probably
Wow,
worse
you
than that.
crap on
That
his
is
own.
like, I could probably get a 15-second spot for $3. I could probably get a 15-second.
Why didn't we get a
commercial on
damage
that.
control podcasting commercial on this?
Do we have the funding for that?
If it's like $3,
Talk to WGM.
I have an in.
I didn't think he talked to you anymore.
Sometimes. Okay, yeah. So anything real quick before I move on to
Booty
birthdays?
call.
Nope.
Okay. Happy belated birthday to Peter Mayhew. His birthday was yesterday, but he's Chewbacca, so I wanted to get it in there.
Yeah.
All right. Today, Timothy Oliphant.
Okay.
Sexy, very sexy.
Happy birthday.
The man, the myth, the legend, James Stewart.
Jimmy.
Possibly Tyler's biological dad, Busta Rhymes.
True dat.
Do you like him dreads or no dreads?
No dreads.
Really?
Yeah.
No dreads.
That could be controversial.
No dreads.
My stuntman for the night, Eric Norris. Stuntman for the town, but his claim to fame, I think, he's the youngest son of Chuck Norris.
He's okay, so that's how he's got famous.
Do you know Chuck Norris doesn't have sex to make babies? He just pleasures himself, and when he's done, there's a child on the floor.
Did you know when the
That
Hulk?
would be terrible.
Did you know?
Baby coming out of that.
Did you know when the
But it's
Hulk?
not a baby; it's
Terrible.
already fully grown.
Yeah.
For practicing martial arts.
That's not a cool thing. Like
that's
I
how
would
Eric-
hate
That's,
to
you
have
have to be responsible as Chuck Norris. You
That's
have
how
crazy
Eric
sperm,
Norris
like-
came into being.
Is that what?
That's how Eric Norris came.
It's
into
not. It's
being.
not actually birth. He's just cloning himself. Like
That's
and the world needs another Chuck Norris.
Still
Like,
awful.
There's not a chin under Chuck Norris' beard, but another fist.
Only another
right.
When the Hulk gets angry, he turns into Chuck Norris.
Did you know
Think
that the
about that.
secret
Wasn't good.
ingredient behind Red Bull is actually Chuck Norris's urine?
Yeah, I know. I gotta supply it.
I think that's the funniest thing.
Just the urine, not the Red Bull.
Joke reporter was actually interviewing Chuck Norris, and it was nothing but Chuck Norris's facts that he was asking them, and he was just like,
Chuck Norris doesn't go swimming. Water just wants to be around him.
Okay. We are already the Ridge Tridge saga right now on the podcast. We are beyond the Ridge Tridge. So closing statements. Anything
What
else?
does that have to do with anything?
Where we went.
he was
right
trying
on.
to segue, and he did it terribly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I segued
it's
as
like
good.
trying to,
As good as Weird Al did in the White
Paul-
and Dirty video.
Damn it.
Segue.
it's like trying to
Dick.
actually learn how to ride a Segway and then
He-
failing.
Right? Yeah. He's a bad skateboarder who tries to ollie and breaks his neck. Yeah.
I didn't break my neck. I was a bad skateboarder though.
I can see it.
Somebody
Kinda
gave me a
hipster thing.
skateboard as a Christmas gift one time, and I lived in the middle of the country. There was not a paved road for miles,
Did you
and they
have a-
gave me a skateboard.
Did you have a basement?
No,
Did you have a driveway?
no, I had a gravel dirt driveway.
What
Did you have a
kind of-
roof?
What kind of floor did you have?
Don't start. I'm not.
Did you have a
I had
trampoline?
carpet.
Did you have a trampoline?
No. All I had
Damn,
was,
your child. That sounds like it sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I
man.
had a trampoline at one point, but I didn't have the skateboard and the trampoline at the same time.
So the trampoline could be the skateboard. You never saw them at the same time. All right.
Oh my god.
All right. Yeah. I'll give you that one.
Fine, I will. What?
Batman logic.
All right. I am ending on that. Daniel, please do your closing before I say something stupid.
Oh no. That. Oh, can you edit it where that's the final thing?
Can you just loop that
Oh,
one thing
that's-
as the entire pod? Cut everything else out. Just play that over and over again for an hour and a half.
Damn.
It'll be the best
I
podcast we've
will
ever done.
concede. Does that beat that I cast you out?
Oh yes,
Okay,
that's
I-
fantastic.
I concede it.
Ugh,
In
okay.
29 episodes, he finally made a good joke.
Oh, that was fantastic, Adam. All right, so Damage Control Podcasting is being recorded at Underdark Comics and Games in Quincy, Illinois. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook/Underdark Comics. And check us out on our website at underdarkquincy.com. Give us a phone call, send us an email, shoot us a Facebook message, just stop in and say hi.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Damage. You can find Damage Control Podcasting at Damage Control on the Twitter, all social medias, Facebook, the Facebook, YouTube, and the SoundCloud. Damage Control Podcasting, all one word. Contact us at damagecontrolpodcasting@gmail.com. And one more thanks to Alley Cat Yo for following us on SoundCloud.
Thanks, Alley Cat.
Tally ho.
One
You
more.
can also follow me if you can find me. Good luck.
Okay.
I know where you live.